let me get it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, brought to you live by the champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.
That's right, Wrestling with Savage does begin now. We're kicking off things Monday Night Raw live on the USA Network. Together forever. WWE Monday Night Raw only getting hotter every single week. The product has been better than ever. And what a week we just had. Where's my microphone? Let's make sure we bring the microphone in so you can all make sure that you hear me loud and clear tonight. We're going to be chilling tonight. It's a Monday night stream. So we have Grand Theft Auto playing on the side over here. And we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. We're going to be talking about NXT. We're going to be talking about Money in the Bank, Heatwave, new champions all over the place. We're going to talk a little bit about SmackDown. And, of course, watching Monday Night Raw live together. I'll give you play-by-play commentary, my personal opinions, my thoughts. I'll be answering questions, and I might even drop the link in the chat. So if anybody has something to say about WWE this week, Monday Night Raw, or just wrestling in general, feel free to come in and have your 60 seconds here on the greatest wrestling podcast of all time, Wrestling with Savage, brought to you by Savage Kingdom Promotions. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to, you can go to wrestlingwithsavage.com, buy some merch, maybe donate. That'll be the first and last time I'll say that on tonight's episode. And we'll keep it moving. Let's get into the comments right now as Monday Night Raw is pretty much kicking off with highlights from the weekend, Money in the Bank primarily. And Mick, I know you never tell me what to do, except every other day when you send me a message and you tell me you have an idea. And Mick, I want you to keep the ideas coming because I love your ideas and I don't want you to think that I don't listen to your ideas or I don't consider your ideas. But at the end of the day, I have a very specific schedule with my life. And, I want to give back to the community as much as I can. Definitely do more shows in the future. But I got to make sure it all coincides with my responsibilities. Tell him Freddie sent you. Freddie, how you doing, man? How's it going, Freddie? I hope you're there, and I hope you're going to be an active member of the chat. I see YouTube is popping off right now. We got at least 3 people on YouTube. We got 8 on Facebook, and of course 40 on Twitter. Again, everybody on Twitter, make sure you come on over to YouTube, Wrestling with Savage, and subscribe. Ricky is caught working a little late tonight. I think he's going to be doing some overtime, so I expect Ricky to be on a little later tonight, maybe after 9, 10 o'clock. I don't know if anybody else is coming on. I don't have anybody else scheduled. I have a few wrestlers that I got to talk to about next week's lineup. We're going to possibly be bringing a bunch of wrestlers on next week to start talking about some of the upcoming events that we have this month, like War on the Shore, brought to you by Fight Factory Wrestling. We're going to be talking about Arrival 2, brought to you by the Wrestling Universe and Isaac from VXS. We're going to be talking about House of Glory. We're going to be talking about the Battlefield. I'm going to be returning to the Battlefield. I can't wait to get back to the Battlefield. That's like my home away from home. A lot to talk about. Obviously, Monday Night Raw kicking off tonight with everything that happened at Money in the Bank. But here's a little peek of what we have to look forward to later tonight on Raw. This mixed tag team match between Rey Mysterio, his son, Liv Morgan, and Zelina Vega. And now that the highlights have been capped off, they are showing us a shot of the World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest, making his way into the arena right now by himself. Doesn't have anybody with him. I'm sure he's very upset with some members of the Judgment Day. But nonetheless, Damian Priest got the job done, and he walked out of Monday night. He walked out of Money in the Bank, the absolute champion right there. And speaking of Money in the Bank, they let us know that Bad Blood is coming to us live from Atlanta.
pay-per-view. Bad Blood coming back to life. Should be interesting to see what they do with there. Just want to take a moment here to acknowledge the current member of the Bloodline who says he's the tribal chief. He says he's the tribal chief. Let's just acknowledge him a little bit. Another acknowledgement to John Cena, who's retiring after one of the craziest careers. I'm praying that this is all a swerve, and maybe at the end of the year when he's supposed to retire, he will pull a Mark Henry. He will then turn into a bad guy and then say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here another 20 years. You're never getting rid of me. I'm John Cena, and now you can see me. It would be great. I don't think that's going to happen because he wants to go over to Hollywood and make money in movies and become super famous, and no problem with that, man. Crazy night at Money in the Bank, man. The Bloodline were able to pick up the big win. Cody Rhodes taking the pinfall. Even though he was able to put down Solo Sikoa, it wasn't enough to overcome Jacob Fatu, who just was too much, and he did what he had to do to set up his family member, Solo Sikoa, with the big win here at Money in the Bank. So the Bloodline 2.0, new blood, whatever you're calling them, they got the job done against the three top baby faces in the company. And as you can see there, Jacob Fatu was not holding back. And the reason I'm going backwards is because right now on Monday Night Raw, we have someone who you all know. We have someone that not only do you all know, but someone that you might all hate right now. And I want to skip to those slides. We're going to get back to all that later. We're going to get back to that women's match. We're going to talk about that women's match. Great match. But we got to talk about this. We got to talk about what CM Punk did at Money in the Bank to screw Drew McIntyre. Right now, we're watching Raw live. And guess what? CM Punk is on Raw. He is kicking off Monday Night Raw. And tell him Freddie sent you. I appreciate that you're going to be an active member. I want to know what you thought about Money in the Bank. And what do you think about CM Punk kicking off Monday Night Raw? I mean, you could see here in the picture, Seth Rollins. Definitely not a fan of what CM Punk is doing here on the WWE roster. CM Punk already congratulating John Cena, just like I did. I beat you to it, Punk. I was able to do it first. Fans now chanting Cena, and how can you not chant Cena after the body of work this man has put on? One of the greatest careers, some of the most memorable moments, matches, and let's be honest, the money that John Cena drew over the years. You know, anybody that worked with John Cena made more money. Just like anybody that worked with Hulk Hogan made more money. Anybody that worked with Stone Cold Steve Austin made more money. CM Punk letting us know that Drew McIntyre is not in the building. I appreciate that, Mick. That's awesome. Anybody that's here is welcome to if you have something to say about the WWE Money in the Bank, NXT Heatwave, or what's going on right now on Monday Night Raw, which is CM Punk basically talking more trash to Drew McIntyre, who has been suspended, double fined. Obviously, he hit Adam Pearce. He was shoving and choking referees, disrupting the Money in the Bank post show, almost breaking Adam Pearce's jaw in the process. But Adam Pearce, a tough cookie. He wasn't going to take that just standing down. Wade Barrett had to get in the middle of both of them last night. Wade Barrett was telling him, if you hit him again, your career is over. It's over. Punk says the ratings just took a dip because Drew was on television. Wow. Now, that could be right. This year so far has been one of the most entertaining years that Drew McIntyre has provided so far. CM Punk letting Drew know that there are consequences to your actions. You know, he's reminding him about everything that happened. He reminded him that he blew it again. He blew his number one contenders match, blew his WrestleMania moment, blew his money in the bank cash in. And CM Punk saying, CM Punk is the consequence of all your stupid actions. CM Punk talking hella trash, man, telling Drew, reminding him about everything, all the mistakes he made, all the promises that he made, everything that didn't come true because of CM Punk. Now, CM Punk has been a thorn in the side of anyone that stepped in his way for a long time right now. Ever since he's come back to AEW and now back to WWE, CM Punk has been a thorn in the side to Cody Rhodes. He's been a thorn in the side to Seth Rollins, been a thorn in the side to Drew McIntyre, targeting specific people. And he's doing everything he can to just keep his name in the conversation for world champion. Let's be honest, he was the last guy in the Royal Rumble with Cody Rhodes before he got hurt and eliminated. CM Punk says Drew McIntyre is the Scottish keyboard warrior. You gotta like that one, right? That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. The people in Ottawa want to see CM Punk get his hands on Drew McIntyre. Too bad that can't happen because Drew McIntyre is definitely not in the building, man. Now, Punk has been a promo genius for a long time, man, and he's killing it right now. No mistakes. Straight to the point. Straight to the point now after all that shit talking, saying Pierce needs to get out here and lift this man's suspension. Punk asks for Pierce. Instead, he gets Seth Rollins. Now, Punk just threw the mic. I think he was trying to catch it, but I think he was too busy looking at Seth Rollins drip as Seth Rollins now enters the arena. And you all know what happens when Seth Rollins enters the arena, correct? Everything stops and it's time to sing. It's time to praise. Punk now joining the commentary team saying it's probably going to be a while. It's probably going to be a while before Seth Rollins gets here, so I might as well come and earn my pay. He harps on Cole for saying his government name. Seth Rollins does always take his time to get to the ring, so this is actually not bad by CM Punk now. CM Punk says he's almost there, but he takes too long. Seth Rollins probably is mad as hell, but my advice to Seth Rollins would be play it cool. Wait for your opportunity, wait for your moment, and don't show your intentions, because right now you can't get a shot at the world title again. You can't. You lost to Damian Priest, and that was your consequence, that if you lost, you would never be able to challenge him as champion again. So if I'm Rollins, I want somebody else to immediately beat Damian Priest, even if it's CM Punk. So because of that, I'm not messing with anybody. Seth Rollins says, now you want to sit on the sidelines. Punk is sitting on the commentary table. Rollins telling him, I know you love the spotlight, so why don't you come into the ring? Or are you afraid I'm going to kick your ass? Seth Rollins getting right into it. See, now CM Punk has never, ever, ever faced off one-on-one with this kind of version of Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah. Fans are chanting CM Punk. Punk says, I don't even remember the last time I was in the ring with you. I bet you do because it was a tremendous thrill for you, but Not for me. Punk says to Seth right now, you better watch what you say. Me? Seth says, me? Disrespect the best in the world? No. I wouldn't dare, Punk. I'm just out here. I'm out here. I really think you can help me understand about actions that have consequences. He wants to know why that applies to everyone in his life except for Punk, because obviously Punk is the reason why Seth Rollins isn't the champion right now. This piece of shit, they were having a great match. Seth was maybe on his way to victory, and then Punk had to go and get involved. I mean, he attacked Drew McIntyre viciously, steel chair. Obviously, Drew McIntyre got involved first because he wanted to cash in. But Punk's involvement here, this was a great match. It was turning out to be a great match. Drew comes out, he cashes in, and then Punk decides to just make sure that Drew had no shot. Punk says, I didn't stick my nose in your business. I was handling my business. This is personal with me. I would like to think that maybe being a husband and a daddy to Rue, I thought you would understand. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful out here talking about your family. There's a man running around with a bracelet with my wife's name and my dog's name on it. Oh, don't talk about Larry. Punk wants his pound of flesh, people, and I think he's going to get it against Drew McIntyre. We're watching Monday Night Raw, and it's kicking off with Seth Rollins and CM Punk in an epic one-on-one. Punk killing it right now. 20 minutes in almost, and we're still got mic time here. Yeah, pipe dream. Wow, Punk's talking about pipe dreams. He says, I'm trying to apologize to you. Pay attention, all right? Legitimately. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Is Punk going to be the bigger man here and really actually apologize to Seth Rollins? CM Punk actually apologizing to Seth Rollins, saying, I didn't mean to screw anything up for you. I'm a little snowblind with rage right now. I have a singular focus, and I understand you do too, and I screwed that up, and I'm sorry. Seems like an actual genuine apology. And CM Punk then turns around and says, because it's you, I really can't be that sorry, can I? Seth telling him, hey, man, I bet you've never apologized for anything sincerely ever in your life because you're so small, you're sly, you're crafty. Kingdom propaganda. You must be the dumbest smart dude I've ever met my entire life. Yeah. Seth telling him, you got most of it figured out, but except the one thing. The one thing that would make you a hero. The one thing is that the world does not revolve around CM Punk. Interesting. Okay. You can be a selfish bastard anywhere else. You can burn bridges anywhere else. I'll let it slide because I'm above you. He's not just talking about the heels. I was willing let that selfishness slide until Saturday. If it wasn't for you, he's not lying. If it wasn't for CM Punk, Seth Rollins would be the World Heavyweight Champion right now. Damian Priest would be out of Judgment Day. CM Punk, he screwed Seth Rollins. Let's be honest. I mean, the shit was real. Seth Rollins got fucked. And if you agree with me in the chat that CM Punk definitely screwed Seth Rollins. By the way, fans right now all singing with Punk in the ring, which is huge. It's showing people that they actually respect Rollins more than Punk. Seth saying it's my turn to take from you, but what can he take from him? What can he take from him? Okay. Seth saying you're not going to get your pound of flesh against Drew. It's not going to happen on my watch. Okay. Seth Rollins says, by the time you're clear, you won't even be able to spit the name Drew McIntyre out before I snap your arm and put you back on the shelf. Telling him actions have consequences. And this was a 21-minute segment, ladies and gentlemen. And just so you know, if you're new to this business, if you're new to this entertainment, this sport of professional wrestling, then you should know. Getting in the ring for 21 minutes on a Monday night and keeping people entertained by just talking, very difficult. Especially in 2024 when everybody wants instant satisfaction, instant gratification, instant entertainment. But it shows you what two stars with the star power of a Seth Rollins, the star power of a CM Punk. And let's be honest, let's actually talk about the careers of CM Punk. Let's talk about the careers of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has beaten some of the biggest names this business has ever had to offer. He's beaten Brock Lesnar. He's beaten Roman Reigns. He's beaten literally every member on the roster multiple times, multiple world champion, Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, greatest cash-in of all time, tag team champion, United States champion. Yeah, you can, Freddie. If you got something to say, you got 60 seconds. You can come in here with your mic only, and you're more than welcome to drop us 60 seconds. Stephen Chambers, welcome to the show. What you just missed is a 21-minute segment between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Right now, Liv Morgan is bothering Dom again. Fantastic segment between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins went toe-to-toe on the microphone, and like I mentioned to everybody, doing that for 21 minutes at a high level on Monday Night Raw. Keeping it entertaining, keeping it good. It was all great. While Seth Rollins was coming to the ring, CM Punk took the liberty to hop out of the ring and get on commentary and talk shit about how long it takes Rollins to get to the ring. It was all nicely done. Very nice touch by CM Punk. And then, of course, that led to Rollins going off, telling him, what are you doing? You need to get in the ring. All well done. Good 21 minutes, and it plants a lot of seeds. Because at the end of the day, CM Punk is not clear. We don't know when he's going to be clear. So we now know that eventually CM Punk is going to have to go through Seth Rollins at some point if he wants to get to Drew McIntyre. What's going on? Adam has two hands. We're here. We're watching Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso is about to be in action. Now, if you were watching NXT last night, I want to know about it in the chat. I want to know what you thought about NXT Heatwave and what we saw last night, obviously in the post-show. Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace defeated JC Jane and Jasmine Nix in the Countdown show. And then we kick it off with Obafemi defending his North American Championship against Wesley in what was a very obvious match, in my opinion. I knew going into this match, no matter what Wesley did, no matter what he said, no matter what he tried to pull off, it wasn't going to be enough to stop Oba Femi. It just wasn't. Look at this guy. Travis, where are you at, Travis? The link is in the chat. Why don't you come on in and update the Savage Kingdom on where the hell you've been, man. Heatwave was amazing. And yeah, you can come and shit on CM Puke. I'm okay with that. You know, you used to do it all the time. Just no more. Don't talk about wrestlers dying and stuff. That's not nice. That's not nice. It was awesome. And yo, Mick, you're not lying. Heatwave was awesome. It was a very good show. I thoroughly enjoyed Heatwave. I actually thought Heatwave was better than Money in the Bank match for match. It was a great pay-per-view. A lot of exciting matches. Oba Femi able to retain his title. Question is, where does Wesley go from here? Kalani Jordan was able to defeat Sol Ruka and retain her Women's North American Championship title. And Dave Meltzer went on to say that this was a glorified aerobics choreographed match, whatever he said. And that's drives me fucking crazy because half the shit you see on AEW is exactly that, you know. Dancing and jumping and flipping for 20 minutes from the same spots over and over and over. When they do it, it's 5-star wrestling. But when these two do it, it's a choreographed shit show that's trying to pretend to be wrestling. Go to hell, Dave Meltzer. You're a piece of crap. Nathan Frazier, Axiom. They went on to win their match against Chase U. They defended their tag team titles. I thought it was going to be Chase U's time to maybe regain some gold, but obviously Chase U is going through a big shift right now with new members, Rich Holland, Riley Osborne, everybody at odds ends. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they should cheat. They don't know if they should be good guys. They don't know if they should be bad guys. Axiom, Nathan Frazier, both phenomenal performers. I've said for years, Duke Hudson's a star. Thea Hale is a star. Where does Chase U go from here? We'll talk more about it tomorrow night when we're watching NXT Live. And now this match, Lola Vice, Roxanne Perez. Fun match, good match. Roxanne Perez made a banger of a statement here. 5 pop rocks? 5 pop rocks to put this girl down? Holy shit, man. Holy moly, was that insanity to see. It was crazy to see this, man. Yeah, Adam, it is nice to see Ethan out of AEW, man, and he's doing something really cool. We're going to get into that match, obviously, at the end of the night here. But why don't we hear what this guy has to say? He might have something to say. He might have something to contribute. I don't know what. It's been a while since we heard from him. Let's see how this works now when I bring him in here. There he is. What's up,
man,
buddy?
how's it going?
How you doing?
Good. Had some health issues, but back home, recovered, good. Yeah,
Feeling
man.
better?
Yeah, much better. Man, so not going to talk about that long. I got to say, starting out, Heatwave, absolutely phenomenal. I was expecting a great pay-per-view. It over-delivered. I think a lot of people were really surprised by Ethan Page winning the NXT title. And I think they did it in a great way. It was almost like those old school matches, you know, where the guy would fall back and they'd cover it in 1, 2, 3, and everyone was shocked because they were like, we weren't expecting a title change. So phenomenal for NXT on that point. And then at the end, I'm sure either you've heard or you've seen, but at the very end, you know, Joe Hendry popped up. So we're obviously this NXT Impact crossover is not done, which I think can only help both brands.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing but possibilities, and I can't wait to see more of them come to life.
Yeah.
What did you think about Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice?
I actually thought it was a pretty good match. I'm not a huge fan of Lola Vice's style, but it's starting to grow on me. She, at times, this is going to sound really weird, but because of the MMA background, at times she almost seems like a diamond in the rough, kind of like Baszler was when she was in NXT. It's why when people are like, well, Lola Vice needs to come up. Good to see you, Mick. when people are like, Lola Vice needs to be on the main roster, I'm like, let's not rush this, because they could get her to the main roster and do the exact same thing as they did with Shayna Baszler, which is nothing.
It's kind of hard to push anyone to the main roster right now with the way that you're pushing Tiffany Stratton, the way you're pushing Braun Breaker. Yeah. You can't have other NXT talent come in and do the same thing right now.
By the way, there were parts of Money in the Bank I liked, parts I didn't. But
we'll get into Money in the Bank, man. Don't jump the gun. Okay. The show has structure. Don't come in here and just flip it on its damn head. Jesus Christ! Right away. You want to just go talk about the hot topics. But I like some organization, man. We can do some good things here, man. There is room for growth here. There is room for co-hosts. Obviously, you probably know Jay's been kidnapped by Uncle Howdy. I don't know what happened to him. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, he's being fondled right now by what's that pig's name? Husky? Huskus?
Yeah, Husky.
Huskus. Jay can't get away from Huskus. They're locked up in a cellar together.
I thought you meant Jay the co-host for a minute.
Yeah, Jay the co-host. He's getting pounded up by Huskus in the cellar. It's not looking good for Jay right now. It's not looking good for Jay.
No.
And they're feeding him, but not food, if you catch my drift.
Any of it, Michael. Any of it is good info.
What kind of good info is being pushed out right now, Michael B? We were covering NXT. We're watching Monday Night Raw. Right now, Jey Uso is taking on Chad Gable. This should be an interesting matchup considering what happened at Money in the Bank. Both of these guys were heavy contenders for that title, the Money in the Bank title. Everybody thought that it was Jay's time. A lot of people thought it was Gable's time. And
I would have put Gable. But
if Drew McIntyre and CM Punk wasn't a thing right now, Gable probably would have won that match last night. But they needed something. Here's the thing, and you got to think about it from this perspective. How do we keep the title on Cody for as long as fucking possible? Well, hey, we eliminate the Money in the Bank briefcase. That's immediately one scenario we never have to worry about. Cody's not going to lose with a cash-in. That's already guaranteed. Unless Tiffany Stratton decides to cash in on Cody Rhodes, which I think is against the rules. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe she wakes up and identifies as a super male heavyweight next year and decides to cash in on Cody Rhodes. It could happen, goddammit. It's 2025 next year. It's going to get fucking crazy out there. But let's get back to Monday Night Raw, what we still have to look forward to. I doubt we're going to see John Cena. And this is what I want to ask you first. And I'm going right to it. What do you think about John Cena's announcement?
On the one hand, I'm shocked because we've associated Cena with WWE for 20 years now. He's our generation, mine, Hulk Hogan. Like, just as soon as you say WWE, you associate it with John Cena. But at the same time, he is getting up there in age. He is trying to get a bigger role in Hollywood movies. So I think I actually love the way he did it of saying, look, I'm not retiring right this minute. I'm going to retire in a year out from now. So I think he's built it up the perfect way that we're all going to enjoy this last ride with Cena. And I'm looking forward to see what they do. I'm really interested in who his last opponent's going to be.
Listen, there's a lot of different potential with this whole storyline. And I'm already going to tell you right now what I already hope happens.
Okay.
I hope Cena does his full year, right? He said he's going to do full calendar year. All of 2025, basically, right?
Yep.
All the way up until the end of the year. Is that what he said, or he's starting now till WrestleMania?
I think it's now till WrestleMania. But I think what's interesting to me about it is he said, this will be my last Elimination Chamber. This will be my last Royal Rumble, my last WrestleMania. So the question is, does that mean we only see him at pay-per-views during the lead-up?
Good question. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to try to jam-pack him because he mentioned it. He's like, they're going to try to jam me on a lot of tours and a lot of shows to try to get as much as we possibly can. Obviously, with taking everything into account, his schedules, movies, filming, all that. I think we're going to see a lot more John Cena this year than we probably have in the last maybe 7 years. And besides that, what I hope happens is I hope it's all bullshit, Travis. I hope the whole year goes by, and then at WrestleMania, he just turns nasty heel and says, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to stick around another 20 years, and this time you can all see me.
I mean, it's not a horrible idea, but at the same time,
Come on. I feel like that's the only way a heel thing would work for him is if he actually lied to everybody. Told them, I'm going to retire. I'm not going to be one of those guys. And then turns around and be one of those guys. It'd be fucking great. It'd be good TV.
I will say, as someone who doesn't like CM Punk very much, I did love him at the end of the press conference when he was like, you know, screw it, I'll bring him out of retirement in 15 years. Like, I thought that was pretty entertaining. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I can't figure out who I want to be Cena's last opponent, because part of me goes, okay, make it Orton because that's who his biggest rivalry was with. But I'm like, but we've seen that so much. Part of me goes, if Jericho comes back for a last
I feel like it's got to be Bo Dallas, man.
that could be a good one.
I feel like it's Bo Dallas, and it's going to go back to that whole thing with the match with his brother and him wearing that shirt. And maybe Bo will be the one to maybe control Cena into a dark era, dark side. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wishing for too much. But he's got a lot of match opportunities. He's going to fight Braun Breaker. He's going to fight Gunther. He's going to fight guys that we've never seen him in the ring before. He's going to fight probably... Oh, shit. We're on Raw right now. It is live. And holy shit, Grayson Waller is not here. I was going to say Grayson Waller maybe against Cena. But no. Gable fighting Uso. And the Wyatt Six are here. Causing Gable to eat the spear by Jey Uso, and guaranteed that's it, right? It's funny how Jey Uso now just does a spear now. His spear. And Jey Uso, I think, knows better. He looks like he's about to shit his pants. He yeeted once, and he's getting the fuck out of there. He wants nothing to do with the Fireflies. What has been your take, since I haven't talked to you in a long time, and since this is happening right now, obviously I'll update everybody on what's going on. In 60 seconds or less, what is your take about this whole Wyatt Six, the presentation, how they've done it so far? And before you start, Michael B., the link is in the chat. Anybody else that has a take, the link is in the chat. Come by. You got 60 seconds to let the Savage Kingdom know what you're thinking. So go ahead, Travis. What is your...
I like it. I think they're presenting them well. I like the way they're presenting Bo as like the aggrieved brother who just... this darkness is coming out because he lost his brother. A large part of it will be, it's weird as this is going to sound, you need to be kind of like the Aces and Eights where you slowly reveal the members. You can't just go 1 week it's everybody's masked and the next everyone's suddenly revealed. It has to be a slow drip feed. As far as the presentation, though, I've been really impressed. Like, I think Bray would be really proud of what they're doing.
I'm more than proud. Listen, this has been maybe the best piece of cinema we've seen on a Monday Night Raw in its history, and that's saying a lot. Show's been around 25 years, and
it's
her
funny.
Her moonsault, by the way, Adam, her moonsault is phenomenal. Don't talk bad about her moonsault.
I'm going to date myself just a little bit, but the Wyatt...
While you do that, I'm going to shoot this bitch in the head. Oh, okay. No! Okay, go for it.
The way they presented the Wyatt Six, like the presentation of it, at times it reminds me, and this is why I like what they're doing with it, it almost reminds me a little bit of like Lucha Underground, you know, those cinematic, like dramatic moments, which I think is really good. I think that's what's been missing from WWE is people always look at it and they're like, you know, under Vince, near the end Vince, he became all about the in the ring stuff, which is, it's good, it should be, but you also need that presentation. I mean, man, just like, I'm thinking back on like who is a great example of this, but like, had they given Karrion Kross the presentation that he got in NXT, not the stupid Gimp mask crap, there is no question we'd be talking about him in a completely different way than we are nowadays. I think we got to the point where whoever it was just like, I don't care about presentation. Let's just focus on the in-ring competition. So seeing them take this kind of like Lucha Underground-esque approach where they're telling stories backstage is, I think, a really good idea.
Well, yeah, no, they definitely might want to go more the cinematic route, kind of what Michael B's saying here. He's aged. I'm not going to say he's aged poorly. I'm just going to say he's aged like anybody else would. We get older, guys. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, Cena can still perform on a higher level, I believe, in big match situations.
I think he's like, what, 45? That's about the right time to retire.
He's almost 50 years old, but he's going to have his retirement tour. He's probably going to win some titles. Wouldn't be surprised if they throw a world championship on his ass. No. It wouldn't surprise me, though, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying I agree with you. It wouldn't surprise me.
Especially if the merch is selling. By the way, right now we're watching Monday Night Raw, and Bronson Reed could be making a big mistake by pushing up on Sheamus. Sheamus ain't one to mess with. We'll keep you posted on what happens there. We're about to see Pete Dunne versus Big Bronson Reed coming up next. We'll give you the coverage on that. But in the meantime, Michael B made a great comment saying the booking at Money in the Bank was on point. I'm going to be doing a full recap on the Savage Storm Super Wrestling Show Thursday, but I have no problem dropping some quick results here for you. Tiffany Stratton, she won her match, and she was talking shit to Trish Stratus. We'll get into that on Thursday. John Cena then kicked off the show to come on and tell everybody he retired. Drew McIntyre kicked off the ladder match. What did you think about the men's Money in the Bank match? Obviously,
man, the match of Money in the Bank itself was phenomenal. I'm glad everyone got their chance to shine. Everyone looked good in it. You could buy that any one of these men were gonna pull it down at any time. The only thing I did not like about it, and this is just a personal opinion, I don't think they needed to do the whole McIntyre wins the title, cashes in, Punk attacks him, because I'm like, this is already a red-hot feud. You didn't need the Money in the Bank contract to elevate it even further. The only reason I can figure they did it, is, like you said, they're not taking the title off of Cody anytime soon, and what this told me is they're not taking the title off of Priest anytime soon.
Oh, that's not true. Priest could lose to Gunther. Maybe their plan is to not take the title off Gunther anytime soon. I mean, I can't. I just say this: whenever Gunther's in a match, it's hard for me to not pick him as the winner. The guy, maybe he's considered maybe the best wrestler in the world, next to guys like Dragunov, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay.
I don't care if
Seth Rollins.
I don't care if WWE doesn't want me mentioning his name. But with that being said, if Gunther and Brock Lesnar get that dream match that they
First of all, he's back. WWE, Brock is back. He's back in the video games. He's back on the website. He's back. Brock's going to come back. Don't be surprised if Brock ends up having a match. I want to see Brock versus Braun Breaker. I really want to see that.
I would see either Gunther versus Brock or Brock versus Braun.
That as well, too. Yeah, Gunther versus Brock will be phenomenal, man. Dragunov as well. Imagine Dragunov versus Brock Lesnar. That might be the best match of all time.
So statistically speaking, Brock has said he doesn't like working with the smaller wrestlers all the time because he feels like his style doesn't mesh up. He's like, go watch me versus Rey Mysterio. Wasn't one of my better matches because the style doesn't match up. So I don't know if he'll want to do Dragunov or not, but it'd be nice. I think that Dragunov versus Brock would be a hard-hitting match that I would enjoy watching.
Oh, well, I think it would be a phenomenal match just because of Dragunov's ability and Brock Lesnar's experience, the way that they wrestle. It's such opposite kind of styles, but as far as the intensity goes, they both have the same level of intensity.
I heard somebody, it was interesting, the other day I heard somebody say, well, I don't know that Brock would put over these young stars. You know, he's too selfish. It's funny. Every person who's ever worked with Brock goes, he's very giving. He wants to bring the best out of you, and he wants you to bring the best out of him. He thinks that's how you, build it up. He was the one who pitched, hey, Cody beats me, and that kind of cements it. So
now, one word I wouldn't use to describe Brock Lesnar would be selfish. I don't think so. But I'm going to give a quick shout out to Mick Thomason real quick. You want me to play his video? Here you go, Mick. Here you go, Mick.
Well,
wrestling with savage.
All right, don't mess with Mick Thomason. He knows how to wrestle. But yeah, listen, Monday Night Raw has been on fire. Money in the Bank was fire. Brock Lesnar, anything he touches has always been gold. His entire career, from the beginning till now. And that's one thing you never hear people say. Nobody ever gives this guy the accolades he deserves, because they put him in this other category as like, oh, he's that real fighter guy. You know, he's not an actual wrestler. He's a real fighter.
Which is funny because when he went to the UFC, the opinion was he's not a real fighter. He's a wrestling guy. And I can't remember now what his name was, but the first guy that Lesnar faced and he lost, he was like, everyone was like, he's a WWE guy. You can't let him embarrass you. And he was like, I knew him as he's a 2-time NCAA champion guy. Like, people were sleeping on him. But no, Brock is one of those guys who, like, I think people misunderstand. Like, they're like, oh, he's so selfish. It's like, that's his presence. Like, he's supposed to be that guy who's like, I don't give a damn about your kids. But in the reality, Brock is the kind of guy who probably immediately after was like, hey, Heath, you need money? I can give you some. So, So let me ask you this. Speaking of Money in the Bank, was there any matches you didn't agree with the outcome? Because there was one that I didn't.
Honestly, I kind of like what you're saying about the Money in the Bank, that it could have been better. Obviously, I would love to see LA Knight have it, or Gable, or any of these different people just for storytelling. I wanted Gable to really win this match. I thought it would have been a big thing for him. I thought they could have tied it in with the Wyatt 6 storyline. The way I would have booked this match is the match starts, everybody gets in the ring, boom, Wyatt 6.
Yeah.
Like a minute, maybe 2 minutes go by. Just dark. You hear screaming, all kinds of shouting, and like someone's being murdered, right? Mm-hmm. Lights on. Everybody's just fucking left for dead except for Gable.
Yeah, maybe.
He climbs the ladder, shaking, because he's scared, because he's looking around and he just sees all this blood and carnage. The ref is dead. The guys are dead. Shit, man. Even kill Michael Cole. Everybody leaves in an ambulance. You make the most shocking scene that's ever happened in the history of a pay-per-view. I make that shit become world news. Even the real news picks up on it. Everybody was left for dead. WWE had to they had to go and find a new commentator. They had to go find new referees. The whole match didn't even happen because everybody's in the hospital. We don't even know if they're alive.
Speaking of which, I'm just curious. Like, this is something I've never understood. You're like, well, they killed the referee. Why does a Money in the Bank match even have a referee? He does nothing. He stands there and looks up and is like...
No, he is doing a lot. I mean, it doesn't look obvious to you, but what he's doing is keeping everybody alive.
Fair enough.
He's looking out for the things that maybe need to be said real quick. Oh, no, he might see something like the way a landing is about to happen, the way a guy's positioned. Maybe the ladder is out of position, the camera shot. Plus, don't forget the referee. He's the main guy who's hearing everything from the back. Maybe they need something changed. The referee is the orchestra. What's the guy called that does the
conductor?
The conductor. That's exactly what a referee's job is, to conduct the match. He's supposed to know how it finishes, when it finishes, why it finishes, and at the same time, he's out there as a lifeline to these wrestlers who are putting their lives on the line with certain moves and things. So being a trained referee is no fucking joke. There's a reason why you go to school.
So the one match at Money in the Bank that I liked all but one match, and people were like, oh, the Damian Priest and Seth Rollins match. I'm like, actually, I was fine with that one. I thought it was perfectly fine. The one I did not agree with, I don't think that Braun losing to Sammy was the right move, only because Sammy works better as the babyface who is chasing after the gold, in my opinion. So
just look at that picture, Travis. You have a bum and you have Braun Breaker. Sami Zayn has absolutely no business interfering in the natural, organic run that is Braun Breaker. The same run that took him through NXT, dominated matches of the year type of shit. He's on the main roster. You have him murdering people every week. He doesn't care about anything. He looks indestructible. Why this guy isn't the Intercontinental Champion is beyond me. I feel like it taints him because little kids, right? 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds. They've been looking at Braun Breaker. Like, I'm talking about the hardcore kids that are fans, right? They've been watching the last few months, and some of them maybe even last few years of NXT, right? Because you got to imagine the kids mostly watch Raw. But the kids that have been watching Raw, they like, this guy, Braun Breaker's the real deal. He's a beast. And now we've changed that impression. Sami Zayn beat him clean.
Yeah.
Insane.
And the thing that annoys me is he beat him clean. He beat him in the middle of the ring. And they could have done something even where it was like Breaker hit something so hard that he took himself out. They didn't even do that. They literally gave the win to Sami off the haluva kick. And I just feel like it was the wrong decision because, like you said, they built Braun up as a beast. We've been seeing him destroy him week after week. Sami works better as the babyface chasing the gold. I just don't think that. I think that giving it to Braun was the right move. And from some of the stuff I've heard through backstage rumblings, friends I have, Sami thought that too. Sami was like, I want to give it to Braun. I think it's Braun's time. And Hunter was like, no, I don't think we're quite there yet, but he's going to do it.
This might have been just a test. This might have been a test because maybe Braun was just anticipating that the second they gave him this match, he was going to win. He might have said something out of character that rubbed someone the wrong way. This is all hypothetical, by the way. I don't know any of this to be true. I'm just thinking about real life situations that are happening backstage that we don't talk about or people don't understand happen. But that's life. Real life, real people, real situations, real dialogue, real emotions. Braun Breaker might have said something stupid, right?
Right.
And they're like, oh, yeah? All right, let's see how he handles us.
Look, I'm not
making him lose.
Disagree. And here's the thing. Hunter's been doing a great job. No doubt.
Yeah, listen, they have a plan for Braun, bro.
Somebody was talking last night and said, well, at least he's better than Vince, who fired Paul London for smiling in a segment. I was like, let's be clear on something here. There is no way that some, not all, some of Vince's habits had to have rubbed off on Triple H. Triple H could still be a guy who goes...
Dude, without question. His father-in-law, he's hanging out with him, learning from him. That's without question.
It could be that, like you said, Braun could have said something and Triple H was like, we were going to give you the title, but now we can't because you said that.
Well, we got to get back to Monday Night Raw. Pete Dunne hits the flying knee on Bronson Reed with the cover and the kick out. But just to finish off on this, you're right. 100%. This match should have ended in a way that just makes Braun Breaker look more dangerous. Maybe not the champion, but dangerous. For example, disqualification because he just snaps because Sami keeps kicking out, right? He snaps, kills the ref, kills Sami, maybe even puts him on the shelf for a couple of weeks with some vile attack. He disqualified. Sami's still your champ, but Braun never lost. Why not?
Right. Should have just murked him.
Something had to happen for them to want to tarnish his run like that because it's very rare, and you don't get many opportunities like this. Like nobody else is going to come along and be that naturally gifted this quickly, look that good, and have the fans barking.
This is crazy, but the last dude I remember having like all those things you're talking about, had the dominant run, had the look, had the skill to back it up, was Samoa Joe back in Impact Wrestling when he first came in and he was on that dominant, like, what was it, like a 2-year run? That was the last time I remember them doing a dominant run like this. And the only possible reason I can see they ended it the way they did, unless, of course, it's because he said something, but the only other reason I could see is people were already
Nah,
starting.
they had listen. Rusev, when Rusev first came to WWE, he was on a dominant run until he ran into John Cena at WrestleMania. Comes out with a tank and loses, just like Pete Dunne lost to Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed able to put Pete Dunne down.
I still want them to push Reed better.
Well, yeah, but where are you going to go with him? He's obviously not going to be fighting for the IC title. Maybe I could see a big match coming up in the future between him and LA Knight.
That would be good.
Maybe. I see LA Knight being the United States champion off of Logan Paul, and maybe Bronson can be the guy to take it off LA Knight whenever that happens.
Do you think that part of the reason maybe the Wyatt Six, the way they debuted with all the, Chad laying with the blood and destroyed and all that, could it be they wanted to give us a taste of like what Raw is going to be like when it's on NXT? Because I keep hearing people go, well, it's going to be uncensored. It's like, I think they wanted you to see when it's uncensored, they're not going to hold back. They're going to make sure you get what you're paying for.
Well, to answer your question in a moment, we have a fight night little reunion right here. Sheamus coming out to Pete Dunne's rescue, making quick work of Bronson Reed. And Pete Dunne looks like he's actually very mad at Sheamus. Yeah. Looks like we got a turn here, maybe.
Pete Dunne doesn't like it when people think he's, he needs help.
Well, Damian Priest has been saying the same thing, but does he really mean it, or does he like it when Finn Balor comes to help? We still haven't heard from Damian Priest yet tonight. I'm looking forward to that. He's still your champion.
Of course.
He got very lucky last night. It looked like he might even had a concussion at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Saturday night, excuse me.
Well, I'm just happy because we haven't talked since it happened. I'm just glad he's still walking after Clash at the Castle. That one looked nasty. I thought for sure he's going to be out for at least a month or two.
Sami Zayn showing up right now in a red lumberjack shirt, giving high fives to the Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. And we'll keep you posted on Monday Night Raw. We still got a couple of matches coming up that we're going to talk about. I guess real quick, why don't we just kind of cover what happened on SmackDown? You can tell me what you thought about SmackDown. You had this matchup right here in the beginning. It's more not even a matchup, just more talk and trash to kind of set it up. This was the go-home show before Money in the Bank. Any thoughts on the opening match between the Street Profits and Pretty Deadly? And out of these two teams, who do you see becoming a tag team champion first?
I'd like to say Pretty Deadly, but I just don't know what they're doing with them. I thought Pretty Deadly was one of the better NXT tag teams. I was excited when they got called up to the main roster. And then for whatever reason, they're just like, okay, we're just going to use you as like a joke team now. And I was like, the whole thing with them was supposed to be they're somewhat a joke team, but they're still someone you shouldn't take lightly. And now they've just turned them into just another generic tag team.
Yeah, and Street Profits seem like their push should have happened a long time ago.
Well, also, what the heck happened with Lashley? Wasn't Lashley?
I think he's hurt, so I think he's just sitting on the sidelines for now. But maybe they're just keeping these guys ready so that when Lashley comes back, maybe they're going to kick off that pride again.
Yeah, it is funny though. Just, and I know we're not supposed to talk about this for a long time, but just showing you where society has gotten. My friends who are some are wrestling fans, some are not. But when they heard that group, the Pride, they instantly were like, but Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford aren't, part of that culture. And I'm like, no, the Pride is in like lions, like the Pride of Lions. And he's like,
yeah, all right. I gave you the big screen for that. I don't think we needed clarification for that.
I just thought it was funny that there were people who didn't understand.
Because obviously they're not wrestling fans or they're really stupid. It's one or the other one, man. Okay? Yeah. I won't say the word, but back in the day, I'll say this. The Rock used to call him this. He would call him the Big Red. You figure out the rest, okay?
Well, how about Bubba Ray Dudley used to call Kane the Big Red Ard. So, I mean,
Yeah. We had this match here where Bianca and Jade, of course, have to get some redemption after losing their tag team titles. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're still in their winning ways. I still think the women's roster needs more tag teams. We'll see if we get that. And Kevin Owens came out, cut a pretty good promo, said he's got to fight for his mama. You know, whenever you talk about your mama in a promo, you know it's good.
Kevin always does a good promo. I've never once doubted Kevin's promo skills. What I've never liked is that
he looks like he lost some weight too.
Well, and I've never liked that WWE teases so much of this. You know, he's going to go back to his violent ways like when he was in ROH, and then they never do anything with it. And I'm like, I would love to see Kevin Owens.
Well, you're going to see Kevin Owens have a lot of responsibility coming up, especially if they bring back ECW. Because Netflix, a lot of people aren't understanding what's about to happen with Netflix. Netflix is going to be the boom of the wrestling world, unlike anything we've ever seen. This is the first time WWE will be available in
misunderstand
170 countries that we haven't seen before.
Right.
So people are going to be watching wrestling for the first time.
People talk about like, well, it's going to streaming services because it can't make it on network television. No, it's going to streaming services because that's where the money is. The money is on streaming services.
Not just the money. Forget the money. That's where the eyes are. That's where the eyeballs are. People like convenience. They're already on Netflix all day watching the shows. Now, hey, I just Raw's on. Great. Boom. I can play games now. Whatever. Netflix is money. And my point was that you're going to see progression in the WWE as far as bringing back old trademarks, old brands. They're going to have the ability to post so much content that they're not going to have a choice.
They're already talking about bringing back the Bad Blood papers.
Yeah, they're not talking about it. That shit is official. It's coming back.
Okay, I didn't hear if it was official or just.
It's official. They're bringing back Bad Blood in Atlanta, and bottom line is this:
back First Blood matches. I missed those.
By the way, on Monday Night Raw right now, Seth Rollins telling Damian Priest that he got very lucky on Saturday, but Netflix is gonna be crazy. I think we're gonna see ECW come back. I think we're going to see WCW come back. I think we're going to see all the old paper. Anything that's marketable, that has legs in the history of pro wrestling, is not only going to come back again and reutilized, reused, but it's going to fucking thrive. Imagine episode 1 of ECW with Paul Heyman in the middle of the ring.
Ready? That's what I was about to ask. Do we bring Paul Heyman back as the end?
100% to kick it off. And make sure it's done the ECW way.
And it needs to be made clear. Like he used to always cut in his promos. This isn't Monday Night Raw. This isn't SmackDown. This is EC fucking.
They're going to start recruiting wrestlers that fit. You're going to see people come to WWE that you're probably never going to see on Raw. You're never going to see on SmackDown, but you're going to see them in ECW because that's where they fit. That's where their style is. Because now with Netflix, no rating. It can be mature. It can be rated R, AAA. It doesn't matter.
Keep in mind, this will never happen. But I know people who instantly, if you bring ECW back, I know people who'd be like, Moxley should come back to ECW.
Listen, Moxley's going to come back to WWE one day for the Hall of Fame.
One day.
It's going to happen. But it won't probably be for at least 10 to 15 more years, people.
You know what? I wasn't on earlier when you said this, so I just want to address something you said real quick. Yes, I agree with you. The double-sided nature of Meltzer is ridiculous. You know, this is choreographed. They're just playing, and then like the Ospreay does exactly
5-star. Shut the fuck up with the 5-star. I hate Dave Meltzer. I hate Dave Meltzer because he's a liar. He's a hypocrite, and he's biased, and he's on Tony Khan's payroll.
I love Will Ospreay. I'm a huge Ospreay fan, but even I'm the first person to go, okay, wait. If he does all this stuff, it's great television. If they do it, it's choreographed. Which is it?
Henry, you're not wrong, but I think just to keep Jade Cargill in a place that she's going to keep progressing, she kind of needs to work with Bianca for at least a year. So number one, we tell a good story, right? They build a bond with themselves. They build a bond with the fans so that when they turn on each other, it's that much emotional, that much better.
Since you're talking about them turning on each other, let me just bring this up to remind some of the people watching maybe. During her entire NXT run, Bianca was a heel. She was not a face. So if they end up turning on each other, I would actually say turn Bianca heel, keep Jade as the face. She's working better with people cheering behind her. You can see since she came to this where there's big crowds cheering her, she's improved because she's like, I don't want to let them down.
I don't disagree with that at all, but you have to be able to feel that kind of decision from the fans. You have to really believe that the fans are about to all buy into this and they're ready to start booing Bianca Belair, and you have to have the right situation where Bianca is going to be able to do something devious enough that's going to make sure everybody boos her out of the fucking building. And that only happens when you do what I said, which is keep them together for about a year.
Yeah.
So that chemistry, that bond between them and the fans grows. And organically, maybe, yeah, it could happen. Sami Zayn's in the ring. I don't know what he's going to talk about. I hope Braun Breaker comes out here and spears him in half. More shots from SmackDown real quick, just to kind of cap off SmackDown. Michin came to Bayley's rescue.
What do you think of, and I've heard this pitch by several people, including, and I know I'm about to plug someone, but Simon Miller was the first person I heard pitch it. What do you think of the idea of Stratton and Jax remaining kind of friendly? Stratton helps Jax win the title, and then she goes,
cashes in.
Oh, and by the way, I'm cashing in on you. I helped you win it. Now I know how weak you are. I'm going to cash in. I think it would be a great thing. And the funny thing is, because they're both heels right now, you could make it that either one is the babyface.
There's a bunch of ways they could go with that. It depends what they want to do with Nia. Do they want to put a strap on her? Do they want to get more heat on her? Because the only thing that would get more heat on Nia Jax right now is if she ruins Tiffany Stratton's Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yeah.
Out of jealousy.
That would be good. That would be it.
We'll see what they're going to do, because just look at the difference between Braun Breaker and look at the difference between Tiffany Stratton, right?
Yeah.
Both came in main roster about the same damn time. Both had nice runs in NXT. One of them sold the Money in the Bank. Other one is not. Fucking wild. Why the Braun wasn't even in the match? And it's fine. You don't want to put him in the match because he's IC champion? Makes sense. He's not the IC champ. Sami Zayn's still holding it.
He should be, though.
Crazy.
What do you think about DIY capturing WWE Tag Team title?
I've been wondering for a while. I'm like, why did they bring DIY, put them back together, and nothing? By the way, let me say this.
These new titles look nice.
They look phenomenal. And let me say this. I'm sure you've seen it. I love what, just showing some more versatility to him. I love what Ciampa's been doing online with his whole, I'm going to hit an RKO on Randy Orton thing.
Yeah.
Like, that is some great work. And the funny thing is, like, I know people who are like, well, Tommaso Ciampa's whole thing is he can't be funny. I'm like, you clearly don't know Tommaso Ciampa. He's hilarious.
It's just really gratifying when you're a long-term NXT fan to see Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa champions on the main roster. You know, it
should have happened sooner, but I agree.
Braun Breaker is out here probably with, in my opinion, probably the second best shirt right after the Samoan Werewolf. That shirt is awesome. He's awesome. And I'm wondering what the hell's about to happen here. Are we going to get a humble Braun Breaker who took the loss last night?
Somebody was talking about, and I love this, Jacob Fatu, Samoan Werewolf, is the exact definition of what an enforcer for the Bloodline should be. He's being booked the exact same way as Solo was when he was the enforcer. He just murks people. And people were like, well, why isn't Solo still doing that? Because Solo's not the enforcer anymore. Solo is the new head of the Bloodline.
Solo's the leader.
You pick
Sami Zayn asking Braun Breaker, what the hell you're doing here? You're looking for a rematch? Braun hasn't said a word yet. I'm very curious to see if Braun's going to be humble or if Braun's about to just kill Sami Zayn on Monday night. Travis,
I hope he just murks him.
Sami shoves the mic in his chest. We don't really hear Braun talk a lot on Raw.
No, because promos are not his strength. But the thing is, when you're Braun Breaker, you don't need to be good at promos. You just need to kick ass. Did you freeze? Oh, for a minute it looked like your screen froze.
Braun being humble, actually, and the fans are making it very hard for him to even talk, and he's still talking. Hasn't made a mistake yet.
No. I'm not saying he can't deliver a good promo. I'm saying that he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, but right now, let's see. This could set him up for this short, sweet spear.
Exactly how it should be.
Fuck Sami Zayn. Take this motherfucker to school.
I'm so humble. Bam! Just
Beautiful.
right way to do it. Right way to do it.
Solid heel work.
Yes.
And not only that, just the money shots they're getting on camera right now. The guy's a specimen, dude.
Braun Breaker is a future world champion. Anyone says otherwise,
his shots too, the way he digs in, it's
he looks vicious. Like he looks like the kind of dude who you're like, if you're in a bar room, you're like, I want that dude backing me up.
That's great to see. So this obviously means rematch.
Yes.
Where does this happen?
Bad Blood. For a Bad Blood, and you know what? I'm even going to go one step further. Because of his ties to WCW, I would say make it a First Blood steel cage match.
Sammy's back for another spin. Oh, Brad Breaker, 24 miles an hour. Brad Breaker losing his mind. Everybody's out there. Referees, officials, Adam Pearce, all his.
Love it.
What do we call Adam Pearce's people? We call them stooges?
Hired help? I don't know.
Adam Pearce may be the best general manager that we've ever had on Raw. He's got Triple H to thank for it, too.
I don't know. Personally, I love the Bischoff era. Bischoff was so good as that heel manager.
What do you think about Dragunov coming out here? By the way, you got to love how Dragunov's wearing red and yellow. All right? I like it. That's where his head's at right now. He's running around Raw thinking he's like the new Hulk Hogan in this motherfucker. I like it. He's going to help Sami Zayn.
Is he, though? Let's wait and see. Because I would love to see it be, this is such a crazy thought because they fought each other quite a few times.
What's up, David? Yeah, you're more than welcome to join. Honestly, if you want to come in and give me your take on Money in the Bank, Heatwave, and just the general state of the WWE, come on down. But yeah, we're going to finish talking about SmackDown right now while we were waiting on Raw to continue. And this was probably the best part of SmackDown.
This was not only the best part of SmackDown, I will say this. This was the best promo work we have seen out of Solo Sikoa thus far. For the people who want to give us crap about, he can't talk, he's just there to look dangerous. No, he proved in this promo he can cut a good promo, and anybody who does not understand what he's doing doesn't get. This is not supposed to be, he's so arrogant and he thinks of himself as the new head of the table. This is supposed to be, you're gone, I'm stepping up. It's not arrogant.
I thought it was great. Listen, the truth of the matter is this, and it doesn't really matter anyway because we don't know, so it's all hypothetical. We don't know how many takes this took. We don't know if this was in one take. I wouldn't be surprised if it was in one take because I believe in Solo Sikoa, and I believe in everybody standing behind him that they're all ready to be the ultimate version of themselves in this Bloodline 2.0 or Bloodline Red Blood, whatever you're calling it. It's good shit.
It's amazing. I think people who were like, oh man, the Bloodline saga is getting stale. How are we gonna do this? This is perfect. Who in their right mind, and I'm being serious here, who doesn't like a civil war? Look at history. Civil wars repeatedly.
Well, a lot of people slept on the Bloodline over the last couple of years. They're like, it's getting stale, it's this, it's that. And then, of course, WrestleMania season comes and everybody starts getting excited again. And Roman starts picking up the ball. Rock comes in. Bro, when they threw that family tree on that press conference in Las Vegas, I was like, damn, man, people around here think this shit is over. We're not even fucking getting started yet.
Did you, one of my favorite...
You know how many more guys there is that aren't even signed yet?
There's like
between Zilla Fatu, Hikalia, the other guy, Rikishi's son, there's like 3 women wrestlers that are all badass.
Haku.
Juicy Fatu, Lance Anoa'i, Sean Maluta, Alpha Jr. And the list goes on, bro. And then their kids now are having kids.
It reminds me...
Bro, listen to this. Listen to this. Haku's got 2 grandsons that are like 13 years old that are both bigger than he ever was. In 5 years, 6 years, we're going to see more versions of Haku.
Yeah, I'm all for it. It does make me remember, though, one of my favorite moments in history of the WWE. The match between the Usos and the Dudleys when he's just pounding on him and he's like, that's for your mom. That's for your dad. That's for your 97 cousins. Like, people don't understand. That was vicious because it was accurate. Like, there is so much of this. We don't even know. I bet you there are people in this bloodline.
It's just getting started. It's just getting started. It's going to be so good. We're watching Monday Night Raw right now. We still got a lot of action to come your way, including this intergender tag team match between Ray, his son, Liv Morgan, and Zelina Vega.
I know a lot of people are not liking Liv's heel work, but I think it's phenomenal.
Now, she stepped it over the last month. Everything she's doing is gold with Tom. They're setting it up beautifully. I love the way they're doing it. They're teasing it piece by piece, just like they're doing the Wyatt Six. Like even tonight, we saw Nikki Cross, right? What did we just a little bit, couple of seconds, creepiness, no words. Keep it mysterious. Keep the allure there.
I love this idea. I'm just going to pitch it to you. Rhea comes back. She's like, what the heck, Dominic? I don't like this. Why are you, there's this back and forth with you and this other girl. What's going on? Dominic chooses Liv over her, shoves Rhea to the ground or something. She's still recovering. He thinks, Liv is Liv is the one backing me up. And, you don't have anyone to fight for you. And out comes Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, it could happen, but I don't know his contract situation. We just saw Braun Breaker destroy Sami Zayn with 2 spears. Dragunov tried to come get some. He went to go help Sami. We're watching Raw. We still have this match to come up. Looking forward. Judgment Day taking out Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. We still have Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Lyra Valkyria taking off Damage Control. And let me bring in this guy. Where the hell are you at? Let me get you on the big screen over here. You're alive? He lives.
What's going on?
And with the beard, I like it.
The hell's going on over there, Dave?
What's up?
Dave does not need the hair club for men, obviously.
Well, for my beard? No.
For anything.
My head, yeah.
Oh, hey, that looks good, too. What's going on? What's going on, James? David Harden here.
What's going on?
What are you trying to rock the James Harden beard?
Just let my beard grow out for once.
Jesus. How long have you been doing that for?
I
saw a couple of pictures.
6 months ago, maybe.
Wow. That's only 6 months of beard?
Well, I trim it, so.
Okay. James Harden obviously has some competition. So, Dave, right now, they're showing us on Monday Night Raw what happened last week with John Cena, obviously. So, why don't we start there with you? What are your thoughts on John Cena's career? And do you buy this retirement thing? Is this real, or is he going to turn heel and maybe stick around another 20 years?
No, I think he's retiring for real.
Okay.
I've never been a big John Cena fan, but you got to give him his props where his due. I do think that maybe, just maybe, he might win the title, just so he could be the official, 17-time, the real actual title holder. The all respect to Ric Flair, though he's not WWE 16-time champion. He's a world champion. He's gotten belts from all over the place. But the official WWE champion of all time, I think John Cena should finish his career that way. At least that's my opinion.
Probably going to happen. It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me, David. He deserves it. If anybody deserves it, it's honestly him. Like, Cena, you know me well. You know how much I
put myself out.
Feel about. Oh, okay. You need to be out, or you need to be in. He needs to be out. Yeah, you know how I feel about Cena. I used to hate this guy. Probably nobody hated Cena more than me back in the day, especially those first 10 years. I constantly said Cena was a piece of shit, terrible wrestler, steals moments, blah, 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 blah. It was all talking shit. End of the day, nobody else besides maybe 2 people on this earth have had the kind of career that Cena has had. Same kind of run as a Stone Cold Steve Austin, if not bigger. Same kind of run as a Hulk Hogan, if not bigger. Guy has put in the work, And at the end of the day, when you think about the body of work, the matches over the years between Edge, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, The Rock, Undertaker, I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
What a career. What a fucking career.
Yeah, you can't. You gotta like, even if you don't like the guy, it's like if you're a wrestling fan, you have to give him his props because that man has done so much, and especially with the Wish, the Get a Wish thing.
That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other stratosphere there. Like he's gone and done movies. He's actually a funny dude. So it's like, he's had his moments where he's lame and we all booed him and stuff. I liked him when he was, the doctor of thugonomics and stuff. That's the time that I loved him. But at the end of the day, it's John Cena. He's
listen, John Cena was phenomenal his first couple of years. I thought the whole thugonomics shit was funny and it was edgy. He was always talking shit, more like a bad guy. I started hating it when that baby face John Cena, hustle, loyalty, respect, just started getting shoved down our throats because all the little kids at the time, all the new 5-year-old wrestling fans, they're buying this shit up. We're all like adults and we want Stone Cold and The Rock, and we're getting this fucking superhero garbage bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, my son at one time was a John Cena fan, so I can't knock it.
Yeah. Listen, I want to give a shout out to Elliot. We appreciate you watching, everybody in the Savage Kingdom. We're watching Raw right now, and we have a matchup coming up right now. Chad Gable, obviously, earlier in the night. We don't even know exactly what happened, but Dave, I'll ask you, Wyatt 6, what's your take on Wyatt 6 since they've arrived in WWE? Do you like the way they're being handled so far?
The introduction was amazing. Like, the way they set it up, the production and all that, I loved it. I love the little VHS tapes that they're doing with Mr. Hottie and stuff like that. I'm a little torn with the whole picture thing, if you know about the whole picture, that they took a picture at Whataburger and stuff.
Yeah. I don't care. So what? Who gives a shit?
Like being an old school wrestling fan, it kind of like, took away the kayfabe.
Yeah, but let's be honest, Dave. How many shows do you love? And you see these actors all over the world, partying, drinking, this, that, the other. They're obviously not Batman. They're not Superman.
The same night, though?
I guarantee you there's a video of Hugh Jackman rapping Wolverine and then having a hot dog 6 minutes later at Nathan's. So come on.
Yeah, but
who gives a shit?
This is wrestling, though.
But Dave, wrestling, and I think the reason they did this was to kind of make that stamp to say, hey, guys, this shit, it's not 1994 anymore. It's 2024. Everybody knows.
I get it, but it's I don't know. I guess it's just about the principle.
I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you because I'm an old school wrestling fan too. And personally, if I had to pick, of course, I never would have let that picture took place. But dude, I'm more understanding now because I work with wrestlers in 2024. It's a different world out there. These kids that are out there now, Dave, they don't have the mindset that the guys in the Attitude Era had. Not even fucking close. It's a different world.
I get it. Now, remember,
we're old, Dave. Everybody in the Wyatt 6 is younger than us, Dave. You know that, right?
Ah, that makes me.
Everybody in the Wyatt 6 is older than us. So you can't expect these kids.
Older than us?
No, younger. They're all younger than us.
I was like, hey, what?
We're older than everybody, goddammit, except R-Truth, who's 50, whatever the fuck's still in here.
50?
Having bangers. He's awesome, by the way.
Still great, though, yeah.
I don't mind that shit, though. I didn't mind it. You know why? Because at the end of the day, even if they went and took a picture at the burger, the product was still good.
Great Muta was 64 before he retired.
The product was good. The production was good. The storytelling is good. That video with Bo Dallas, probably the best interview we might have ever seen on Monday Night Raw. Because they didn't waste any time, Dave. The first question they went to is the dead brother. That's
why this works, because they're like, Bo, what do you think
instant feels, Dave. The second that question happened, you knew this shit was going to be good.
You think Bray is a sixth member spiritually?
Yeah, I think he's an undefined member. I think we'll have another 6 member. Bray's part of that. I don't think you have to give him a number. Bray is that group. He's always there. His presence is always there. The way that they can go with the storyline over the next few years, especially with Netflix on the horizon, wouldn't be surprised if we see shades of The Exorcism, shades of every scary movie you've ever thought of in your life, Nightmare on Elm Street. They're going to go crazy with this shit.
So you want to hear a crazy pitch I have? Wyatt Six running wild, doing all this. It's great. We find out someone paid them to not only get revenge anyways, but hey, I'm going to finance your revenge. So time goes on. We're all wondering, okay, who is financing this? Who's paying for all these costumes? Who's doing all this? And then, like 4 months into this, you find out Raven is financing all this because Bray Wyatt repeatedly said Raven was one of his biggest inspirations. So how cool would it be for Raven to go,
I'm just going to shut you down right there because I've talked to Raven this year extensively. Raven gives a fuck about doing anything with wrestling as much as I care about watching up how many calories I have in a day. Now listen here and listen carefully. Nobody gives a shit about Raven coming back in this storyline at all except you. Acknowledge it, accept it, and embrace it. Don't ever
accept that I'm the biggest Raven fan here. I accept it.
That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He was on the cover of not WWF. He was on the cover of WCW versus NWO video game, which is kind of crazy to think about. He had no business being on that cover next to Hulk Hogan and Goldberg. Like, no business on that cover.
But I would argue the man is
the reason he was on the cover is because the developer of the game, like you, was a Raven fan. Only reason the guy was on the fucking cover.
Smart man.
Anyway, back to Monday Night Raw. We have this tag team match going on right now. We'll keep you posted with the results and the action. Dave, real quick question I want to ask you because you haven't been on here in a while and I don't know how long you're going to stay. So I got to find out. In general, with what you've been seeing from WWE week to week ever since Cody has won his championship, would you put this year with an Attitude Era year maybe? Is it getting back to being very, like, you can't miss it? You want to know what happened. You want to watch the matches. You care about the storylines. Is it getting to that point for you as a diehard Attitude fan where it's like it's giving you that vibe again?
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, there's certain things that catches my attention. You know, obviously the Bloodline story, you don't want to miss that. Certain things like I watch Raw just because, you know, it's just tradition for me. So I watch Raw anyway. It's not like AEW. AEW, I've really stopped really watching AEW.
Okay.
I'll watch it once in a while. I don't watch Collision.
I bet you I can give you a reason to start watching AEW.
MJF?
No. Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon. It's like 80% right now that you will see Shane McMahon in an AEW in an AEW position. I don't know what, but stay tuned. I guarantee if they tell you Shane's going to be on AEW tonight, you're fucking watching.
I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it. But
if he's there, you're watching. Don't lie.
AEW has been improving a little bit. You know, like I like that they're starting to at least stick with storylines because that's the part where I was lost. They're always everything is about matchup, who's matching who, but it had no story behind it. It's just like, oh, Bryan Danielson is versing Will Ospreay, but for what? Cool thing to do.
Did you watch Forbidden Door?
I watched some of it. I didn't see the pay-per-view.
What did you think about that Swerve Strickland Will Ospreay match?
Yes. They're great. I love Swerve is awesome. Like Lolly right now, she's like
I don't think you saw this clip. Did you see this clip? Nice to see you, brother.
Nice.
Yep. That's the AEW World Champion getting out of the ring and shaking my hand first before anybody else's. That's what that was.
Swerve's a good guy.
Why do we only have 56 people watching this show, or 66? And by the way, all fucking 59 of you on Twitter, Go fuck yourself for not coming to YouTube.
Well, plus YouTube, we all know.
Close your fucking Twitter. I don't even watch you watching on Twitter. Come to YouTube, you piece of shit.
Oh, hold on. Let's just be clear on something here. What are you talking about? There's no such thing called Twitter.
It's X.
Oh yeah, X, whatever.
I swear, it's like a 5-year-old name.
X has become like a porn website. It seems like now. It's like
Hasn't everything except for YouTube at this point?
well, YouTube is definitely not that yet. Hopefully, it stays that way. My kid uses YouTube for Christ's sakes. By the way, David, how is the family? Everybody's doing good.
We're good. Samara's getting ready to go to college.
Wow.
Wow.
You know,
Congrats.
I started working in a
Local
job.
or is she gone?
No. She was gonna go to the state college here. It's only half an hour away, but she's gonna do community first for 2 years.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I got a job here in Texas now. I don't work remote anymore. So.
We're in the same state. That's funny.
Oh really? Where you at?
The Weatherford area.
Oh okay.
Watch
I'm
out. This
kind
guy
of-
might have bodies in the basement, though, Dave. This guy could be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy.
Dude, I just got into a whole
Never seen
debacle on
that.
Facebook because of a place I ordered food and everybody attacking me because, this guy's from New York, go back to your shithole. And I was like, motherfucker, I lived here 12 years already. What are you talking about? Like,
Unbelievable.
what? Like, what does it matter? Like, I ordered something, didn't get my service. So now I'm bad because I complained about it? Or you Texans don't complain about shit? What's going on here? It's like,
Gotta
Nicely
complain.
done, Elliot.
Bad food is bad food.
Bad food is bad food. You know what's
100%.
even worse? You know what's even worse? When you get bad service, you say something about it, and everyone else jumps on you, and they're like, "Oh, you can't be rude to these employees." It's like, no, that's their freaking job. If they can't
Exactly.
do it, I'm doing them a disservice by not telling them you're not doing it right.
no,
By
I
the
was
way,
a bad person because the hurricane. Oh my God. We had a Category 1 hurricane with no flooding in my area, by the way. And yet I'm the bad person because I complained that I didn't get the service I paid for.
Apparently, someone is they're playing with themselves because of my aggressive attitude. Okay, Chris.
Okay, if that's what gets them off,
Hey,
no keep
yeah.
singing here.
Okay, that's a first for the show. I don't know. By the way, Judgment Day just picked up the win, and CM Punk, Adam Pearce having some words in the back. Did you catch the beginning of the night, Dave, between Punk and Rollins?
Yeah, that shit was great.
That was good shit. Was
I loved it. I loved
Great.
it.
It had shades of Austin Rock, that kind of big fight feel, and that fight's coming. And I love how they're just teasing it and
Yep.
building
Now,
it.
here's the difference. I will say. Punk and Drew hate each other. Show. Rollins and Punk hate each other. Real life.
Real life, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So this will be interesting to see. Drew has been. It's been good, but very. I prayed for this to happen and very theatrical.
I mean, listen, Punk put himself in a bad situation here because now he screwed over Rollins, who cannot challenge for the championship anymore. So now Rollins, if he can't challenge for the championship, he's got a lot of free times on his fucking hand. He's going to do everything in his power to make CM Punk's life a living hell, and he said it tonight.
Do we see a Rollins McIntyre tag team?
I think we could see a number of different things, but we might even get that triple threat match out of this at SummerSlam. I don't know.
I'm all for it.
What you thought about the Money in the Bank? Because I didn't like it at all.
Money in the Bank. We were talking about Money in the Bank earlier tonight. The men's match we had started off with, obviously, when Drew McIntyre was entered in there, I knew he was going to win automatically because of everything that was going on with Punk. So I felt like him being in the Money in the Bank with the current situation took away from the match itself because it's like you knew what was going to happen. Braun Breaker losing to Sami Zayn clean. We talked
Bad.
about it earlier. Stupid. Complete bullshit.
Oh,
Braun-
really? I thought it was.
No.
I thought it. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not a big.
Bro,
Braun
come
fan.
on. They've been setting up Braun to look like a god for the last 8 weeks, and then you just have him lose
It's
to
almost
Sami
like the whole
Zayn?
Tiffany Stratton thing. I don't think she earned it neither. Like, I don't think she should be having the case.
You know what? I'm okay with it at the end of the day because all it's going to lead to is just this guy, Sami Zayn, getting speared even more. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay. Like we saw it tonight. He got speared out of the building
You know what the
Honestly,
problem is?
twice.
He's just spearing him. Next, I want to see him spear him through
Dave,
a concrete
come on.
wall.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at Braun and his body, and then look at this guy. This guy looks like the guy that was asking us for money outside of Madison Square Garden when we were waiting for tickets to Raw.
He's paid his dues, though. He's gone from the Indian.
Look, I'm not advocating this,
you
but
gotta give him.
Listen, the Brooklyn Brawler paid his fucking dues too. We didn't put no goddamn it to Continental.
Like, what are you talking about?
He was wrestling before he was writing, Dave.
Okay, look. I gotta seriously wonder, has Sammy never heard of a tanning booth? That motherfucker's whiter than I am. And that's saying something, because I'm like the whitest dude in any chat group.
Now, this match was good, but it could have been better if nobody came out. I thought, if Drew didn't come out, Punk didn't come out, and this was just a one-on-one between Rollins and Seth, could have been match of the night. We didn't get that.
So
the botch, the three.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro! I was like, what's going on right now?
The funny thing is, like, I watched Triple H after the press conference. I thought he made a good point. He's like, I wish there was a way I could get Priest to just go in the back, listen, just turn off his phone, think for a minute. He goes, because I guarantee you, nobody's beating himself up more about that than Priest is.
Yeah, but I think he got his bell rung.
Listen, there was something happened. Either he had a concussion or he missed the cue, because somebody told me that when the ref was counting like 1, 2, Drew's music was supposed to hit. Somebody told that to me. I don't know if that's true.
If you look at Damien real close, you can see after the pin,
he's looking,
wiggles his hands, and you can see he's kind of dazed. So I
think
a little bit,
he might have been rocked.
Like I said, I'm just glad he can still walk after the Clash of the Castle thing. That
who got rocked is Drew McIntyre by CM Punk with those vicious steel chair shots.
I'm sorry, did you say rocked or robbed?
He got rocked. He got rocked and robbed at the same damn time.
I right now I can't stand Drew McIntyre. I think he's a little bitch.
He's doing his job.
I was like, yes.
And you know what's funny? What's funny? This is why this feud has been so good, because you feel that way about Drew McIntyre, and I feel that way about CM Punk. So it's
like 50-50. There's people that feel the same way, but at the end of the day, this is going to be a great matchup. Long-term storytelling, and now that they threw Seth Rollins into the mix, by like this, I mean, look here in this picture alone, right here. This picture says it all. There is so much to say in this picture. This could be a match that takes place at any WrestleMania. Let's be honest.
So what I was going to mention a minute ago was Drew's been doing this. I prayed to God that this would happen, and it happened, and now you're injured. All that. He's been doing that. Rollins now getting involved in the feud. Like, I was telling someone this yesterday. I was like, man, I see Rollins being the one that's going to start bringing up some of the real life behind the stage bullshit that we don't know about with Punk, because he's the one who knows about it. McIntyre was in TNA at that time. According to Rollins,
by the way, just to interrupt you, Liv Morgan is stretching Dom's leg in a very comfortable position. Good TV. Good TV. Continue, please.
No, I was just saying, Rollins, according to Rollins, Punk was actively sabotaging some people's careers. He thinks he was one of them. So I think that we're going to see Rollins start to bring up some really backstage stuff that Punk is not going to feel comfortable with him bringing up, because Rollins, unlike McIntyre, the thing I've always liked about
I'll say this. After AEW, Punk is definitely prepared for that kind of situation.
I think the thing that I've always liked about Rollins is if you ever look, like, when he's insulting someone, like, go back and watch. And it was underrated at the time, but go back and watch, like, him and Matt Riddle. You can see, like, Rollins is really picking at Matt Riddle's personal life. I could see him do that. Like, I could see Rollins being like, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, but you know what? If Rollins says Punk meddled in people's careers, Rollins did the same thing. Riddle, where's he? He's fucking gone. Well, probably because of guys like Rollins.
I could see Rollins coming out and being like, hey, Punk, it's okay that you came back after 14 years. Oh, by the way, how's that whole having a kid thing going?
Quiet when Bo Dallas is speaking. I know David wants to hear what he has to say. What's he going to say, Dave? We should whisper. Tell me.
Let's
Wow.
see.
Wow. He might have the best psycho face I've seen in years. Hotskis. Ooh. Mm. What's going on here tonight? Chaos. Mm.
Interesting comment.
Wow. Money.
Bo's
Money. Money.
his promo skills are on another
All I
level.
gotta say is I fucking believe, man. I believe. I've never believed so much in my life, Dave.
He's not Bo no more though.
His promos are on
He's
another
Rotunda.
level.
His facial expression right now is the God mode right now.
So good.
But again, this is all taped. Again, I believe with my heart this guy's doing all this shit in one take, by the way.
Bo Dallas,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah. All right. Hot question, Dave. Chad
You got
Gable.
me saying believe now.
Chad Gable. Is he a future world champion? Yes or no?
No,
What a piece of shit you are.
I don't think he has it to be a champion right now.
Has what exactly?
I don't know. Like he maybe if he gets into a different storyline, but at least right now I don't see it.
I think he has the potential to, but I think, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I think what it is, did you watch that press conference when Triple H was like, if it was up to me, we'd have him here forever. If he puts it in his next contract, hey, I want a world title, and Triple H goes, okay, we'll give it to you if you sign with us again, that'll be his best chance of getting one.
Oh, shit. He's here. Oh, my God.
I'm
My
a little
God.
behind, so I don't know what's going on.
You're gonna all right when you're gonna see Gable fighting with Pierce.
He's arguing with him right now. Yeah.
Pierce is gonna go into his office, and you're gonna be very happy with who you see sitting in his office waiting for him.
Oh,
Wow. If they do this right, man, I mean, I would slow burn that
Smile on
Wyatt
his face.
6. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I would slow burn this Wyatt 6 all the way up until Netflix so that when you start really amping it up, it's with no filter at all.
you think they're gonna build to like Mania before they wrestle?
Like I said, I wouldn't let these guys do anything in the ring significantly until after Netflix.
Slow as humanly possible. Don't rush this. Don't have this be 1 week. Let's just even go with this. One guy gets revealed. It should be months before the next one does. It should not be this guy got revealed. Now this guy, because that stagger, that removes all mystery.
Who'll be the
way,
first?
doing good.
Who'll be the first opponent aside from Obviously,
It's gotta
Chad
be.
looked
It's
great.
gotta be Chad Gable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chad is with Bo, or just in general, because as a group. So
You're saying who do I think would be the first member of the Wyatt Six to wrestle? I know that this is kind of a controversial pick here, but I say have it be, and he stays masked because he wins, but have it be Joe Gacy. I'm 99% certain one of them is Joe Gacy, and Gacy and Gable's styles would work together very well.
Could be. Could be.
how about what's his name? Big Red, whatever his name is. I forgot his name now.
Big Red.
Eric Rowan.
Eric.
It's funny,
Red.
I said Big Red earlier because of what The Rock. You remember what The Rock used to call Kane? We can't say the word, but he would call him the Big Red. You remember that? So from now on, whenever I want to call someone that, I'm just going to say, you know what? You remind me of the Big Red. And I'm just going to stop.
Well, that's what I heard. That's one of his nicknames, Big Red.
The shit they used to get away with, bro.
I just always remember when it was Dudley, and he would walk around and he'd be like, "You make fun of the way I talk.
Yeah, he
At
killed it.
least I can talk."
You know, I want to give somebody a lot of credit right now. They made me laugh maybe just as much as anybody else in the history of wrestling. But when Goldust was doing that whole Tourette's, and that guy had me fucking rolling every week.
Absolutely.
Every week. So good.
Dustin is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't care what anyone says.
Everybody says, yeah, his brother's the man right now. There's no way he's not getting in the Hall of Fame.
Dustin never held a world title. Yeah, neither did Jake the Snake Roberts. What's your point?
Listen, while Raw's a commercial right now, let's see what David thought about the rest of Money in the Bank. The women's ladder match, I really wanted Chelsea Green to win. I thought Zoe Stark was going to win, maybe. And I also said Tiffany has a shot, too. I did not expect them to just go all Tiffany time.
Me, I don't. You know me. I don't watch NXT, so I don't know too much about her. So far from what I've seen, I'm not too impressed about her. I thought Chelsea has been like on the money. She's been having the perfect character. I think she would have been perfect for it. So I was kind of disappointed. Just like the Drew thing. Like the Drew thing, I thought it was a waste. I thought LA Knight or Jay should have gotten it. But
right? The CM Punk feud didn't need the Money in the Bank failed.
Yeah, he could have interfered in that ladder match and made him not get the suitcase. I don't get why they had to do it during the title match. Like, it is what it is. But
yeah, I thought Chelsea Green had the best year, Travis and Dave. All those girls, character-wise,
she deserved it. I don't think Tiffany Stratton has done enough to earn the right to be fighting for a title right now for the world.
Listen, she's a superstar, and I've been saying she's a superstar for a while now because she just has that look, and she does have a personality for days.
Let's not forget that.
Obviously, look at her in the ring. I 2 years ago, you tell me she's winning this fast, I'm like, nah.
Nah, I honestly, I remember when it happened, I was shocked only because I was like, future women's Money in the Bank winner, I would have no problem believing it. This year, I was like, dang, they are pulling it really fast on her.
And what about the main event, Dave? What'd that do for you? Bloodline, obviously, picking up the big win.
I'm not going to bullshit you. I was hoping that Roman came back, but obviously
he's going to come back at SummerSlam. I
think they're going to build it a little more. But man, they're doing it great because you remember past, I hated Roman. Now I don't want anything but him to come back already. So
what did you think about? Well, let me show you this video first, just in case. I don't think you've ever seen this one. I got a video of a certain guy who's actually in the WWE right now.
Oh, Jacob.
Yeah, hold on, man. Fuck all that. Man, we know where I was at. Man, damn mom, come on, man. Big bruh, OG. Man, hey, I swear, bro, the first independent wrestlers I was seeing, bruh, was Monster, Low Key, Homicide, D. Man, the Ooses, man, on the East Coast. I'm a West Coast representative. But at the end of the day, Big Oos came up a little short. Big Oos ain't really go full throttle the way I was expected to. Man, at the end of the day, it's all love and respect, big bruh. You know where the love is at. Blood!
Now, it's just crazy to me that I was working alongside that guy for almost 2 years, and we'd have conversations about like, dude, what the fuck? Why are you not in the WWE yet? Like, what?
Savage drafted to SmackDown. I'm for it.
He's telling me it's coming, brother. Don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. He kept telling me it's coming. It's coming. And my man, not only is it coming, but David, have you ever seen anyone? And you've been watching wrestling a long time, right? Have you ever seen anyone come into the pro wrestling business the way Jacob Fatu did and immediately beat up 3 of the top baby faces in the same ring in the same night at the same time?
Not in a long time, at least.
I know. I don't think you've ever fucking seen it.
Hold on. And I want to say this.
Debut.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone no-sell the draping DDT. It was phenomenal. I loved it. I love that he just instantly got back up. Orton's, doing the whole pounding on the ground thing, and he just gets back up, and he's like, yeah, no, don't pull that shit on me, bro. I know what's coming.
And the body transformation, bro.
What I can't tell is
the Impaler. That's just
looks like it now. It is, yeah.
Was he busted?
For me, I'm familiar with his finisher being the springboard moonsault off the top rope. That he does better than anybody.
Yeah.
Like for a 300-pound fucking guy. Now, by the way, he looks like he's down to 280 now. He looks like he's gained muscle, gained speed. He's only 32 years old.
This bottom middle picture, I have a question about it.
This picture right here with the Samoan drop from hell?
The one on the right. I can't tell. Is he busted open or was that paint?
Oh, that's his hair. That's his dreads.
Oh, okay. It's in front of his eye, so it looks like it's like his face is bleeding. Okay.
This guy right now is in the best position out of anyone in the whole goddamn company, except for maybe Cody Rhodes.
Look at Rhodes' face there. I love the way he's selling that.
No, you got to give credit to Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton for giving this kid and saying, you know what, no problem, brother, we got you. Because Triple H, told them all, you got to make this guy look like a god. He comes in, he's an immediate game changer. And they're all, like you said, look at Cody's face. Look at Randy. Look at Kevin Owens even. He's like, fuck, we're fucked.
I love it.
What do you think that Solo should have been the one to go over, though?
He was.
He was the one that got the pinfall, but, because of his enforcer. So it makes him look like a legitimate leader, like he's making good decisions.
But here's the thing. That's what it should be. Honestly, the only thing that would have made it better, in my personal opinion, is if Fatu had done all the damage, and then Solo was like, no, I'm taking the pin. Because that's what an enforcer should do. An enforcer should do all the work, and the smarmy, heel takes. That's what I liked about when Roman was doing the Bloodline thing, was it was like, man, he hardly ever did the finishing blow, but he would take that pin, and look at how many people just lambasted and hated Roman online.
How about that botch right there where this guy banged his brother in the head, bro? Just bopped him right in the fucking head.
By the way, that picture on the right, somebody was complaining about it. They were like, man, we're never going to see a package pile driver from Kevin Owens in WWE. And I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not.
But listen, they barely let them do the normal pile driver.
To answer Dave's question from earlier, what did I think about Money in the Bank overall, Dave? I'll tell you what I thought about it. It was a show that was actually good. You know why? Because it was under 3 hours. Simple card. Started at 7. It was done before 10. And it told some decent stories. We got that whole Punk thing with Rollins.
Sure you watched both. Which one was better in your opinion?
Heatwave was better. There was way better matches on Heatwave, without doubt. And obviously, I have all those pictures. Did you watch Heatwave, Dave?
No, I didn't catch Heatwave.
Okay.
I heard about it, though.
It was good. It was good. I got to show you what happened here, but I want to just end this with this Bloodline shot here. End of the day, these guys are doing their thing. And what's crazy is these guys are all in WWE except for Solo. Everybody else in that screen's in WWE less than a few months. And they're already main eventing, Money in the Bank. It's fucking crazy.
Three of the top baby faces.
So this is a game changer right here. But
there's still one missing, right? Isn't there?
There's a lot missing, David.
There's a shit ton missing.
There's a lot missing. But the greatest thing about all this is while all this is happening in the background, in the back of my mind, your mind, everyone's mind who's been watching, they're all thinking the same thing, hopefully. What is Roman Reigns going to do when he gets back? How is this going to go down? What sides are going to pick? Are Jimmy and Jay going to reunite? Is Roman going to show up with Zilla? Is Roman going to show up with a few Samoans of his own? Is Roman going to get jumped?
Well, first of all, let me say this. We're going to start here with the obvious. We know that when Roman comes back, we're going to have the two Usos helping him at some point. He's going to find a way to get them to go, look, the new bloodline's even more dangerous than I was. We got to get this under control. So there's two of them right there. However, I think that the great move would be if Zilla was his fourth. Because
I don't even want to begin to talk about it because honestly, there's so many possibilities, especially with Cody Rhodes. If they bring Alpha Jr., Alpha Jr. used to be Cody Rhodes' teammate back in the day with Ted DiBiase Jr. and Randy Orton and all that crazy shit to think about. I don't know where they're going to go. I'll just say this. Right now, this guy legitimately thinks he's the tribal chief and Roman Reigns is not anywhere near to do anything about it right now. And we have a lot to look forward to. Bad Blood officially announced for Atlanta. And just to update Dave on what happened at NXT, Roxanne Perez defended her title. But what I want to talk to you about, Dave, is number one, Javon Evans. I know Javon Evans well. I've been watching him wrestle on the Independence. Guy is a fucking maniac. He's barely 20.
Last night.
Barely 20 years old, Dave. Already main eventing his first PLE. But what did you think about All Ego, Ethan Page? And by the way, on Raw right now, there's a banger happening between Dragunov and Braun Breaker. We'll get back to you in a second. But Dave, what do you think about Ethan Page, your new NXT champion right out of AEW, bro? What happened? Did we lose Dave?
Looks like it.
Dave, you're gone. How about you, Travis?
I love it. I've said for years I thought Ethan Page should have been a world champion. I've said for years that I think that he had a bright future. I liked it. And one thing that nobody's talking about in this story that I absolutely loved how they did, I thought it was great. Go back, watch the match. Trick Williams was on defensive 90% of that match. The one time he went on offense, like really went on offense, was then when Shawn Spears pulled him off. So the question now has to be raised: Did Trick get too excited and too ahead of himself? Is that why he lost the championship? Does he deserve a rematch against Ethan Page because the fact that he never should have lost it? There's so many directions you can go with this. People are like, well, Shawn Spears cost him. Isn't it obvious Shawn Spears is going to be his next feud? Probably his next one, yeah. But that could be on the way to getting him back against Ethan Page. There's so much you can do with this. Javon Evans, I didn't know much about him before I went into this match. Doing some research, I think we are talking about a guy who could easily be a future champion. I don't know if I'm going to say world champion, but like I'm talking like I could see him be an intercontinental champion with like 2 years of within like 2 to 4 months of getting to the main roster.
Oh, by the way, just them giving him the title right now, right away like this, just shows you how much faith they have in his ability and his stock in the future. They don't just put the NXT championship on you unless they think they're going to use you on the main roster eventually one day. So I think we're going to see Ethan Page have a very successful run here in the WWE.
I think All Ego is he is the perfect, and this is why I think he's going to succeed. He is the perfect combination of what Vince used to look at, their physique, and what Hunter and Sean look at, their talent, their in-ring promos. He is the perfect combination of all of it.
Well, he's a great wrestler with a great personality, great mic skills. We're keeping it that as a Dragunov hit the power bomb and the flying senton now going for the cover on Braun Breaker, and I'm certain that's not going to be enough.
I've met Ethan Page. Super nice dude.
I met him as well at, I believe it was New Jersey Wrestling Con somewhere. Wrestle Bash too, yeah.
Nice dude.
I also wanted to say about this match, what was nice about this match, Travis, is it didn't have your traditional finish. It was very nice to see all the chaos and the way that they just kind of like said.
I loved the exhausted pin. It was phenomenal.
It was a very surprising ending. Trick in essence, lost the title himself by knocking everybody out except the one guy that he should have knocked out, which was the guy that was dragging him out of the goddamn ring. And it cost him the title.
Like I said, the one time he went on offense, it bit him in the ass. And that is why it was good storytelling, was because you saw them go, that's what can cost a champion. Overconfidence can cost them.
Listen, there was a great match. NXT Heatwave was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good weekend of wrestling shows. Money in the Bank was very enjoyable. I love the 3-hour product. I love when it doesn't go over 3 hours and it has like just 5 matches that you're actually invested in and you want to see. And then Heatwave, same thing. Do you think
we see Javon Evans challenge for the NXT title again soon?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't see why not. He's kind of interjected himself in this main contender picture here. And if that match last night didn't prove it, I don't know what. He was getting over last night. He got over to the point where even Trick Williams said, you know what, I can't even be a friend to you right now. I got to beat you up.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I got to take you serious.
They did so good last night. Everybody got their chance to shine. Everyone looked stronger coming out of it than going into it. Even Sean Spears, who was still kind of, he was the smarmy guy on the outside, just waiting and picking his moments. Even he looks better coming out of this. They were all of Heatwave. Even the one match I didn't really like, it was still great. Heatwave was, as you said, it was great. And the best part is it proved you don't need to go over your allotted 3 hours to be great.
Yeah, that's why I love the whole weekend. Both shows went on time, on schedule, action, nonstop, and it was a good time. And David's back. We could finally hear from him because I know you know a little bit about Ethan Page from AEW when you used to watch. Are you shocked to see Ethan Page come to the WWE the way he did? And now, boom, he's your NXT champion just like that.
Sorry,
guys. Been there a month.
I think a month, yeah. He's only
been about a month, yeah.
Sorry, I'm having power issues since the storm passed earlier.
Actually, no, Ethan Page been there like 2 months now. By the way, Dragunov now shivering. You might be having an aneurysm on the screen after getting hit in the head with a one of those recliner chairs. He's also busted open on the shin. Poor Dragunov doesn't look like he's going to make it home tonight in one piece.
So, actually, I thought it was quite funny that he got the championship already, but I'm happy for him, man. He didn't get. I think that he wasn't utilized right in AEW. There was times that he was a little annoying, but that's supposed to be his personality. So
he's all ego, Ethan Page.
Exactly. So I get the whole thing, and it's good for him. I'm glad that he got a little push here. It looked like they got some faith in him, and let's see how he handles it.
I thought it was just a beautiful finish because it threw everybody off. I don't think anybody saw that finish coming. The finish was crazy, Dave. Trick Williams went nuts. He knocked out Ethan Page. He knocked out Javon Evans. Ethan Page then fell on Javon Evans, and Sean Spears was just holding on to Trick Williams while the referee counted 1, 2, 3. So Ethan Page didn't even win his match, basically. He won the match because he got knocked out on Javon Evans.
It's phenomenal. Great ending. And go
very,
back and watch.
Very crazy finish.
Go back and watch what you were talking about. I don't see anybody think anybody saw it coming. Go back and watch the match. When you watch the 1, 2, 3, you can see people in the audience visibly going.
Yeah, people were shocked. And look, by the way, that looked like a packed house in Canada for NXT. So congratulations to them for actually selling a lot of tickets, probably more than AEW would have there. And, that says something about the NXT brand and its star power and its growing reputation. Braun Breaker, on the other hand, needs to be, they find Drew McIntyre an undisclosed amount of money. What are they going to find Braun Breaker? He's out of control here.
Nothing.
Nothing, right?
You know why? You know why they don't find Braun nothing? Because everyone's too scared to find him. You should make it be, okay, Braun, you have to pay this fine. Spear that dude. Somebody else comes out to find. Spear that dude.
Lawyer comes to serve him. Spear that dude, right? Yeah.
Right. Like to the point where they just are like, okay, we're not going to find you because we don't want to get speared.
All right. Just like you don't want to get speared.
I'm just happy that there's not any more enhancements. When they were doing having him with enhancements, it was annoying. I was like, come on, man.
They were having what?
with jobbers. So they were putting him with jobbers.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, this guy is already a known guy. Why is he fighting jobbers? Like,
Because they
I'm
always
glad
think,
they got him with
they
actually.
think that people don't watch NXT, so when they get back up, when they come up to the main roster, you got to establish them. But the reality is, go back and watch Braun Breaker's debut. When he debuted, everyone was like ecstatic. There was not one person in that arena who was like, "Who's this guy?"
I mean, like, I don't watch NXT, but if you're a wrestling fan, you should know who Braun Breaker is and who's his dad and stuff like that. Like, come on, like, he's a Steiner. Like, if you don't know who a Steiner is and you're a wrestling fan, then you shouldn't be watching wrestling. Like, that's just plain.
Speaking of which, Savage. So my family, not wrestling fans. So Mom called me the other night, and she goes, "Oh my God!" She's in tears. I'm like, "What? What's going on?" She's like, "Oh my God, the Iron Claw was so heartbreaking." She goes, "That needed to win an Oscar," and I was like, "They did a great job with that movie," but I'm like, "Come on, we're testing."
First of all, your mom's 100% right. She should be crying her brains out because that movie wasn't a good wrestling movie. It was a drama. It was a drama-filled bullshit tearjerker of a jerk-off movie. It barely went into their career into Japan. Worst fucking Ric Flair I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, it was more of a sad, depressing movie than what should have been a happy, uplifting movie about a tragedy that happened. But in the end, you still have this beautiful family that's still out there in the Von Erichs. They're not all dead. God damn it.
I think they wanted to make it appealing for everyone.
They wanted to get a fucking Oscar nomination, and you know it. David, Gunther, Damian Priest, SummerSlam. Who do you got?
Really?
You're going to obviously go with Damian Priest, aren't you?
I love Damian, but come on.
Gunther, right? You're going with Gunther.
Gunther is
See?
going to whoop that ass, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, too. Damian Priest.
Chance, bro.
The only thing that could possibly do
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but the only thing that could possibly do it is if Gunther does so much freaking damage that he just, it's obvious he's going to win. And then Priest somehow has the Judgment Day come out, jump him, gets intentionally disqualified. And then Gunther can be like, see, he couldn't even beat me. He had to get himself intentionally disqualified.
Nah, I don't know. I just see Gunther, that King of the Ring performance, his matches in general. One of the only guys in WWE who gets 5-star ratings from Dave Jerkoff Meltzer. Gunther's the real fucking deal. He's a great wrestler, great technical wrestler, power, strength, has the look. And guess what? He cuts promos like he's a bad guy from 007. The guy's good, bro. He's good.
He's phenomenal.
He's good. And he had to win me over in the beginning because I didn't know a lot about him either. But once I started to get to know him, watch his matches.
Yeah, I've been watching him, and I've met him once or twice, but I've been watching him since he was Walter Hahn back on the Rev Pro.
Go watch his shit in NXT UK, Dave. Yeah, you didn't see shit yet. When that guy was in NXT UK, like 400,
Pro.
He was like 400 pounds, bro.
I don't even know how this is possible, but go watch his Rev Pro. The year he debuted, he was like, you were sitting here, and I was like, dude, I know people, and I've seen wrestlers who, in their career, don't have as good of in-ring acumen as this dude does in his first year of wrestling.
You want to see a crazy match, Dave? You probably never saw it. Just go watch Walter versus Will Ospreay. Fucking insanity. Insanity. And this is while, Gunther was in WWE. He came out with his music and everything. They let him go wrestle this show in Europe. And they fucking murdered it. Like, it's insane. Great match. Real quick, since I have you guys here and we're doing this show, we might as well get into this segment I like to do once in a blue. And we got some shitty breaking news here. I don't think anything good. John Cena addresses wrestling outside of the United States as part of that final tour. So just expect to see John Cena all over the world over the next year wrestling for the WWE. Joe Hendry reacts to Booker T ripping up his fan sign at 2024 and Joe Hendry's money, and that's why his reaction was money. Look at this. This was his reaction when Booker T was talking shit. And Dave, I don't know if you knew this, but at the end of NXT Heatwave, as soon as Ethan Page won his championship, moments later, you just saw this on the screen. On the pay-per-view. It was fucking great. This guy's face. And, dude, I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't know. We'll find out on NXT tomorrow night. We have one match to look forward to, NXT Heritage Cup match.
So,
hold on, there's no show yet. We still got to get back to the breaking news. Spencer Slade inks an exclusive contract with the NWA. And all I got to say about my part in that is stay tuned. You might like what you see coming up very soon. More breaking news. Their strategy for Joe Hendry's major role in NXT TNA crossover, basically expect Joe Hendry to get put into crazy big match situations out of nowhere. You won't know when, you won't know where, but this guy's going to literally just come from TNA and get championships. They're planning on making this guy a fucking star. He already is.
Which the funny thing is, he already is. Everyone was like, there was talk, seriously, that they were like, well, the reason, like, it came out, the reason he got eliminated from the Battle Royale first was because they thought he was too over. And that tells you something. If he comes into NXT and they're like, yeah, we can't have this dude win, he's too over.
Okay. Money in the Bank shatters every record in Canada, and it seems like every time WWE does a premium live event in a new arena, they're breaking record every time. They just keep raising the prices. Adam Pearce doubles the fine that Drew McIntyre received. We all knew that was coming. Rikishi reveals that he doesn't want to replace Paul Heyman as the Bloodline's wise man. And the reason why? Because he loves his life right now. He gets to spend time with his kids, with his grandkids. He gets to chill and go eat burgers. He doesn't have to be on an airplane every 5 fucking minutes. He loves it.
So hold on. Wait a second. I want to see if I understand this correctly. Playing devil's advocate here. So Drew McIntyre,
oh my gosh, bro,
gets robbed, gets assaulted, beat up by a guy who is not on the active roster. No, fine. Drew McIntyre lays his hands on Adam Pearce, who deserved it, and I'm going to double your fine. I mean, this is just great. It just goes further to McIntyre can now go, see, even the management is catering to CM Punk.
Are you babbling about the previous slide?
Of course. You didn't leave me a chance to babble about that.
God damn it. All right, now I'm going to do something that I'm probably going to regret. I'm going to put him in. I'm going to give him the full fucking screen. Sean Moody, you got 60 seconds to say whatever the hell you want to the Savage Kingdom.
Hey, thank you for everything you've done, Savage. All right, I'm on now. All right, cool, dude. I just wanted to say thanks for everything, Savage and shit, man. I really appreciate it and shit. And, yeah. So I wanted to do, dude, come in and tell you thank you for your show, bro. Nice meeting with you guys.
We appreciate you coming on in, bro.
Yep, you have a good night, dude. Have fun watching watching WWE.
Yes, sir. We'll see you soon on the Party with Marty. Stick around. That's Sean Moody right there, probably the biggest Marty Jannetty fan. Big fan from the Party with Marty podcast. Hopefully there's a new episode this Thursday. That all depends on Marty Jannetty's, I guess, condition, if you want to call it that. We'll see how he's feeling when he wakes up on Thursday. I don't know.
I think Rikishi is incredibly intelligent for saying this. I think he knows that he can't do it to the degree that Paul Heyman can. And I think it's a smart thing.
So you're saying he doesn't think he could do a good job like Heyman and doesn't even want to try? Is that what you're saying?
Who can?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I would have liked Rikishi being there.
Rikishi is his own version of a wise man. He wouldn't have to try to be like Paul Heyman.
Savage is great. He's a great talker. And even he's not as good as Paul Heyman.
First of all, I'm better looking than Paul Heyman. I'm stronger than Paul Heyman, and I'm smarter than Paul Heyman. You know why?
You ain't a better talker than Paul Heyman.
Of course I'm a better talker than Paul Heyman. I'll talk Paul Heyman to the fucking ground, to the grave, to the death. I'm Greek. My people were the greatest talkers of all time. Debate, politics. Are you crazy? Literature, theater, Olympics. This whole damn sport was invented by my people, you piece of shit.
Since you did that, let me remind you, as Mel Brooks correctly pointed out, we had debaters. Bullshit artists.
I want Paul Heyman's a bullshit artist?
No.
I know 30 people who still... Paul Heyman owes people I know money. To this day. I'll call Sabu right now. You want to hear how much money fucking Paul Heyman owes Sabu? You want to hear how much money Paul Heyman owes Rob Van Dam, Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray, Devon Dudley, Balls Mahoney, Nunzio? He owes Nunzio $6,000. My guy owes Roadkill $1,500. I say I'll blast Paul Heyman. He don't give a fuck. He ain't sending him any money.
I was going to say, you don't think he could pay them back right this second if he wanted to?
He could pay them back with a piece of toilet paper stuck in his ass cheek, but he's not going to.
And why should he?
You're right. He's a scumbag. He might be a better scumbag than me, but I'm not going to sit there and let you say he's a better talker than me. I don't think he's a better talker than me.
You know what? Just sit over there with your Daniel haircut.
I'm the fucking greatest manager of all time. Wait till 20 years from now, I'll bring both you Mark-ass jabronis back on this show, and we're going to talk about the conversation then. Who's the best manager now? We're going to ask that question in 20 years. And then you can give me your shitty little answer.
In 20 years, I hope I'm sitting at the desk next to you, being your Michael Cole.
You guys aren't that old, okay? You can't make it to 60. I don't know what to say about any of you. I already know I'm dropping dead at 80 on the dot.
I'm fine if I'm going 50.
We'll be lucky if we make it 60.
No, I would be lucky if the whole country makes it to 60. Yeah, you're right. God damn it, we get this stupid match right now, and I'll be honest with you, I don't give a shit about this match. I don't care about this match.
Bathroom break.
If it wasn't for you guys here, I would definitely go get ice cream, take a shit, piss, something. I'd be doing something.
You know what? There you go. I will forgive CM Punk when I get my damn WWE ice cream bars.
And yeah, Sean's right. Rikishi raps. All right. Last time I checked, Paul Heyman can't rap. Rikishi raps.
And he can dance too.
He can dance. He can rap. Dude, come on, man. This is about entertainment.
That's a bonus that we don't have to hear that god awful music.
And it'll make sense because the Usos is his kids,
and if Rikishi did it, I'm sure it would be for the people. I did it for The Rock. That was great. It's still good after all these years. All right, we got a little more breaking news. Your favorite guy, ex-WWE star, claims Vince McMahon was inaccessible to NXT talent, as he fucking should be. Fucking NXT, shut the fuck up.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this.
It was Dijak, by the way, that said this.
Let's just say this real quick. By the way,
surprise.
It's not surprising one that Dijak says this, but two, here's my thing. All these people who want to say, well, I don't like Vince McMahon. I wish Vince McMahon and I wish he hadn't ruined my career. Then why the fuck are you still talking about him? You use him every chance you get to get attention. It's literally you going, I don't know.
Hey, I have 37 million. No, how many? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. I gained 8,000 subscribers off Instagram because of one Vince McMahon video.
Yes. Literally, all these people are doing when they bring up Vince McMahon is they're trying to get attention.
100%, and it works every fucking time. I'll go make a 10-second video right now and say Vince McMahon's dick is bigger than yours. And guess what? It's going to get 10,000 views.
Yep.
I've actually been thinking, Dave, I want to make this is good and bad because a lot of people hate Vince McMahon, right? Especially modern day wrestling people. I mean, I even have Vince dancing in my intro. I don't know if you've ever watched my intro, Dave. Have you ever watched my intro?
Yeah, show it to him.
Yeah.
Sure, you've seen it, right? When Vince is doing that cocaine dancing.
I laughed
at that shit in my intro because I aspire to one day have as much money as that man had in that moment in time when he's on top of the world, surrounded by the best talent in the world. Literally, that was like his.
Don't forget,
look,
me and you have been at Raws and saw Mr. McMahon be like this.
Yeah. I have an important question for all these idiot modern day wrestling fans. Yes, what Vince did was bad. I'm not saying it wasn't, but did it undo everything he created? The answer is fuck no, it didn't. The WWE is still here. It's not like as soon as Vince is gone, the WWE no longer exists.
What I don't understand is how you take something like this girl was a whore and was willing to fuck for money, but meanwhile this guy over here now, he's a murderer. He raped your grandma. This, that, and the other. But he should go free. But Vince, he paid this whore with money so they could have fucking time that she was okay with doing, but then all of a sudden it's not okay to do.
I am gonna
This is what men do. Men go and become successful. Men go to college for 7 years. Why do you think doctors go to school for 10 years? So they can save lives? No. So they can get pussy. That's why.
I'm about to get canceled for saying this.
I think we're all about to get fucking canceled.
I have said it for countless years and will say it again. Well, the man was so horrible, paid her and harassing her. If she took the money, she's as much to blame as he is.
This guy's coming this stream every week for like 10 weeks, and he says the same thing. Comes in, reports that Tony Khan has died, and he wants to, wish condolences to the Tony Khan family.
First and foremost, if it's coming from a guy calling himself BBC News, I can guarantee you it is not British Broadcasting Company.
It's probably Big British Cock. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Regardless,
but in my opinion here, listen, at the end of the day with Vince McMahon, there's been no real evidence because nothing's gone to actual court yet. There isn't like subpoenaed files of evidence that have been authorized and proven to be real and accurate. Do I believe that he's had sex with hundreds of girls and paid them to do it? Yes. Yes.
But it's not, you know what? I'm going to quote one of my all-time favorite movies.
Hold on, what's the difference between him and Hugh Hefner?
Hold on. I want to quote one of my favorite movies here.
They ain't crucify you.
It's not what you know. It's what you can prove.
Listen,
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, what he done was wrong, but it doesn't take away what he's done for wrestling.
No.
Plain and simple. It's like, oh my God, he fucked up. He did some shit. But what now?
No, I'll say this though. No.
You can't say, oh,
Dave, if there's like an accusation that comes out, like he raped a girl and there's proof, and she was like, yeah, cancel him. Cancel him. Never talk about him again. Any of that. But he's paying for sex. Oh, okay. They acting like he murdered somebody.
If the woman accepted, she's as much to blame as he is.
Pretty much.
What's the crime? He paid for sex. Last time I checked, in a lot of states, that's fucking legal.
I mean,
they go in as far as that he was doing it to guys too.
You know what?
Oh, that's a whole. That's a whole.
I was like,
listen, Dave, I could say things on the stream that I have never said before that Marty Jannetty, Tony Atlas have whispered in my ears.
You know what? Here we go. About to get canceled again. About to get canceled again. About to piss off the liberals again. Well, Vince McMahon's so bad because he paid for sex. So did John F. Kennedy. Where do you see people talking about him?
The president, the guy who's trying to run for president. Well, he's been in court.
What do you mean? Bill Clinton was getting a blowjob in the Oval Office every day, and I'm talking about not just a normal blowjob. Bill Clinton was out there getting the super sloppy toppy glizzy deluxe.
Hey, and additionally, I love hearing this. Well, why did Hillary stop it? Because she was actively participating in it. Like, how stupid do you have to be?
She probably made sure the room was empty.
No, she was actually, according to the story that came out, made by the man who was a Secret Service member. He claims that she was actively having sex with Monica Lewinsky as well.
Wow. Oh, well, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me, but let's get away from this conversation as fast as possible. Vince McMahon, I don't care until you are proven to be a sick monster of some kind. I still love you. All right. Stephanie McCoy received a contract offer from AEW and WWE after Forbidden Door, and definitely well-deserved. She's 100 times better than Mercedes Moné, I'll say that.
And if you're smart, you're going with WWE because AEW aren't going to offer, they will not. Look, if you come to WWE and you prove yourself, you're going to get
BBC.
offered more money than AEW could ever pay you.
All right, we're about to see 6 women attempt a suplex situation in the middle of the ring. I hate these super choreographed shit shows. Your girl, Linda McMahon, listed among top contributors to Donald Trump. I don't think anybody gives a shit.
Surprise.
How's that wrestling news? I don't know, but somehow, here it is. Here it is.
I mean,
So we're watching Raw. Well, are we watching Raw? I mean, we are. But
McMahon had nothing to do with WWE anymore. I thought she separated herself.
I'm not a top, but I'm on that list of
she's
supporters.
she's still Linda McMahon.
I guess.
She's still Linda McMahon. Come on.
You know the other thing, not only that, but like look at who's in this. You got Damage Control, who up until a few months ago was running everything, versus let's see, that's Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, and I'm guessing that's Lyra Valkyria. Of those 3, one of them matters. The other 2, what was the last thing they did? They won the NXT championship. Like, what is going on here? You have the team that was taking the world by storm in Damage Control going up against 2 jobbers and Lyra Valkyria.
I don't know, but you know what I feel like doing when I watch this match?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
This is what I just want to go up to this fat guy right here and say, hey, suck my dick, bitch! You piece of shit motherfucker! This is what I fucking think of Damage Control. Fuck Damage Control. Who's next, you filthy fucking whore?
I think Dakota Kai sucks.
Ah, look, this cocksucker driving the fucking
He's
car.
the worst.
Hey,
So to be
It's bad.
clear,
fucking
having now played it, I can honestly say, I don't know, man.
I can't
and
wait.
Damage Control picking up the win too. Like, what are we doing here?
You put 5 up against San Andreas, 4 Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories. I'll take any of those over 5.
Can you believe they called the cops on me for killing that fat guy?
Yes, you can't fat shame in
How
2024.
many stars you got?
1, but I'll shoot the cop in a second when he
No,
gets
no, dude. All you need to do is do an aerial flip off
Wait,
the stairs.
can I get on the
with 5
bus?
stars.
There's a bus here. Maybe I can turn this at the speed.
Hey, shit! I just gave a great joke. I just said all you need to do is do an aerial flip off the stairs while shooting the guy, and you'll get 5 stars right then and there.
Wasn't that funny?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny.
Dave didn't laugh.
Meltzer deserves all
I
the
didn't laugh. I mean, Meltzer. Oh, look. Look.
Oh,
They got
no.
me. They got me. I'm busted.
Man, you even look like him.
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville out here.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
wondering where Sonya Deville.
So is this a new faction right now? We got Shayna, Sonya, and Zoe Stark. And they're just wiping out Damage Control. I
Yeah.
like that part.
Really, she took that knee to the face.
I like it.
Sonya Deville, to me, is one of the more talented wrestlers that they've had on the roster for a long time. Has yet to be given her real push.
Yes, and let's just be clear on this. I will never forgive WWE. I don't even like women's wrestling that much, and I will never forgive WWE for the way they have wasted Shayna Baszler. She should have been a champion 3, 4, 5 times over by
I
now.
agree with that.
You want to talk about a waste of a main event? Here it is.
That's the main event.
What?
Pretty sure, yeah. It's pretty bad.
I mean, that's a great main event if I'm on Valium before I start watching it or something.
Right now, the only thing that made this entire Raw watchable was CM Punk Rollins in the beginning, the Braun Breaker situation, and then, of course, Bo Dallas. Everything else was trash.
And the worst part
Nah,
is
this
it's not
can't
even
be the
over
main
yet.
event.
Trash.
You still have 30 minutes left.
32 minutes. That can't come quick enough.
You know
How many
what?
more times? This is worse than when John Cena was being shoved down my throat. I feel like no wrestler more than Rey Mysterio has been forced down my fucking consumption over the last 5 years more than Rey Mysterio. This guy somehow, some way, finds a way to constantly get involved on the main roster again and again and again.
Look, I'm about to come across as probably one of the biggest douchebags in the world for saying this.
Here it comes.
New rule. If you've been in the WWE Hall of Fame, your career's done. Okay? You don't need to be, well, I'm retiring. No, I'm not. I'm retiring.
Dave,
No,
do you agree with that, Dave?
To a certain extent. I think that Ray is still great, but he shouldn't be on as often. That's all.
If
That's
you're a WWE legend, what more do you have to prove?
I mean, if you're healthy enough to wrestle, why not?
That's not true because then you wouldn't have moments like The Rock versus Roman, Rock versus Hulk Hogan.
I wouldn't have gotten to see Stone Cold come back after 19 years.
That's right. Stone Cold versus
Fair
Kevin
enough.
Owens wouldn't have happened.
So,
For the right moment, it makes sense. But
like
we're not
it's
talking about.
overused like Ray right now.
Oh, you know what? You know
This
what?
isn't a moment. This is a
Yeah, that's
non-stop.
getting a little.
What do they call it in Spanish, Dave? Telemundo? Telemundo?
Telemundo?
Well, how do you say TV series in Spanish? Is that it?
No.
Telenovela?
Telenovela, you mean?
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like a soap opera. That's what this is.
Telenovela.
Wait a
Telenovela.
minute. So now we have to ask an important question. This is a soap opera because we all know in soap operas everybody's screwing everybody. So does this mean that the reason this is happening is because Dominic is screwing Liv and Ray is screwing Zelina? Because if so, I think I'd
be okay with any of those.
I think Malachi might need to be involved here since that's his wife.
That's what I think.
Maybe Liv Morgan sleeping with Daddy's daddy.
God,
Maybe
by the way,
all
can I just say something right here?
Sure.
Man, Malachi, like when you study some of these couples,
Telemundo.
the fact that
Telenovela,
Malachi
Telemundo
Black
channel.
is married to Zelina Vega, I just sit there sometimes and I'm like, good for you, Malachi. Well done.
They dropped the ball with Zelina after that Puerto Rico pay-per-view. She was on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yep, they dropped the ball with that.
Yeah, but you know how a WWE is. They never win when they're in their hometown. So that never happens.
Yeah,
It's super rare.
Yeah.
So
Did you see this is one kind of proof of it. Did you see what Andrade posted like a couple months ago? Somebody asked him, the guy asked him, he goes, why is it that only Latinos face other Latinos? They only face other Latinos on WWE television. And I'm just sitting here looking at this match going, Andrade's just got to be sitting there back there going like, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Liv is not Latina, so
No, she's the white
She's
girl
definitely
trying to
white
be. She's the white girl pretending to be Latino. Cultural appropriation over here.
No, we've seen a lot of that over the last couple of years, especially on NXT and even on Raw now with LWO versus Santos Escobar's people and all that crap.
I thought one of the funniest ideas that I saw pitched online by someone was they said, "Ooh, you know what should happen?" I said, "What's that?" He said, "Ooh, Rhea should come back and Rhea and Liv have a ladder match for custody of Dominic." And I was like, "Oh my god."
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see AJ Lee last night. I was thinking we were going to see AJ Lee screw Drew McIntyre because of the bracelet.
Speaking of, I want to say this. Rollins, I hope he comes out there because CM Punk recently said it. Like he's like, me and AJ might finally think about having a kid. I want Rollins to come out and be like, dear God, I hope you have zero sperm left in you whatsoever. We don't need another CM Punk in this world.
Could be.
I'm just saying, Rollins
any more clean edge.
Go watch some of the stuff. Again, watch the feud with Riddle. Rollins can be a vicious when he needs to be.
All I know is with Netflix coming, TKO looming in the background with the UFC plans that they have, there are going to be people from UFC making their way over to the WWE. I can't wait to see the more mature product.
Who one of them is, right?
Conor McGregor, I think, is a name.
God, I would love to see McGregor just knocking motherfuckers out in the.
McGregor would fit right into WWE very, very easily. Probably Masvidal too. A couple other guys, maybe.
I mean, the great thing about Conor McGregor is he's just such an over-the-top personality already that it's like, why not?
Well, he's a huge star, bro. Like, you can put that guy up there alongside, he's not as big as The Rock, but he's right. He's not that far behind. Like, you know what I mean? He's a big star.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be straight up honest.
You guys see the Easter egg right now? They're interviewing this new faction here. I don't know their name yet, but the Creed brothers are having a conversation with Chad Gable. It's nice to see that seed continue to be planted. When are they going to pull the trigger with the new Alpha Academy?
They need to pull it soon.
I denial. Look at that.
I have two friends who were like, "Whatever happened to the Creed brothers?" I'm like, "They're still on TV." They're like, "When?"
Well, the Creed brothers had the same push like Braun Breaker, and they dumped on them too. Those guys came in, kicked everybody's ass for 4 weeks, and then lost. And they just started losing.
What's the news? So I've heard mixed things. So is Eric injured enough that he's just done, or are they just waiting for him to get healthy so they can bring Eric and Ivar back?
I don't even know the answer to that question. Last time I heard about him, he's just not medically cleared. That's all I know about him.
Yeah.
And you guys are excited about this news that they said they're going to bring now a women's Intercontinental Championship and a women's United States Championship.
Congrats.
Expected
You're only
by the
doing
end of the year.
something that you're only doing something that was mentioned all the way back in WWE 2K22. So congrats, or 2K.
I don't think we need 2 new women's titles. I'd be
IC
okay
title,
with just
maybe.
like 1.
Yeah, the IC title.
But I think the way they're saying it is one's going to be for Raw, one's going to be for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Do you know something I've legitimately never understood? With all the talent, do you think WWE has resisted the urge to do a trios title solely because they're going to say we're copying
They stuck already at tag teams. Why are they going to do triples?
Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario. Dude, that's because they're not desperate for ideas.
See, and I agree with you. That's what I was saying.
AEW comes up with these stupid extra titles because they literally just what are we going to do this week? What are we going to do? Oh, I'll make a new fucking title.
What? I'm not going to disagree with you, but just real quick, I'm going to say something here. What is the speed title, if not one of those stupid titles?
Oh my gosh.
That's just a novelty title for that little show they have, and that's just, I think, like a breeding ground for young talent.
Going, here's a title for Andrade just so he'll shut up.
Maybe. Nobody watches Speed. I don't watch Speed. You don't watch Speed.
I don't even know how do
Isn't that like on X or something like that?
I think it's on YouTube or one of the social. Yeah, you have to watch online. And I never know when it's on either.
It's supposed to be like
not to say that stuff on social media is automatically bad, because NXT was on social media for years. And that was
what I don't understand is where the fuck is Saturday Morning Superstars, and where are my goddamn ice cream bars?
And you know what? While you're at it, screw it. Bring back Saturday Night Main Event.
Once a season.
Yeah, like once a month.
Saturday Night Main Event should be the show that leads into the big pay-per-view.
There you go.
But now we don't get that anymore because now they want to do fucking 2-night pay-per-views 4 times a year. So next year, the Rumble's 2 nights, Mania's 2 nights, SummerSlam's 2 nights, and Survivor Series is 2 nights.
Really?
Yes. And I hate that.
You know something I've been wondering?
WrestleMania being 2 nights I can get, but that's the only one that should be.
What's that, Dave?
Why WWE Network, or Peacock now, never added the Sunday Night Heats where they were in WF New York?
I'm waiting for that shit to come out forever because
I'm trying to think I have Mandela effect and I wasn't there, and I didn't see Kurt Angle and Stone Cold have push-up battles.
Right, that was Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Kane, Undertaker, The Rock.
We were there in front row, and I'm like, yo, was I really there? Because I can't find videos of this.
If you could find the original tapes of like the first few years of Sunday Night Heat, I was literally there every Sunday with a giant Greek flag on my back.
I can see that.
You couldn't miss me on the TV camera because once they show the fans, you just see this huge ass Greek flag, and it was great. It was great. I pissed off a lot of people.
I've looked for that shit.
Including Michael Cole.
On Daily Motion, on everything. And I'm like, yo, dude, I must have dreamt that shit because I can't.
That's what you needed to do. You should have been like, so when I get older, Cole, me and you can have that freaking match. Because evidently, I don't know. I've heard rumors that Michael Cole wants to have another match, and I'm like, seriously?
Oh, no. Michael Cole was a dick in WWF New York. He never said hi to any of the fans. Taz was always cool. WWF New York was awesome, bro. Great place. I wish Dave was there that one time. I was there with one of my other friends, and Iron Sheik was there. and we sat down, and he was wasted. I bought him a burger, and he bought me Jack Daniels, and I was just sitting there getting drunk with an iron fucking sheik, bro. Like, can't make that shit up, man. And then, Dave, you remember the story I told you where my friend Bobby hit Stephanie McMahon in the face with a camera after I asked her to marry me. And I saw Stephanie recently at WrestleMania, right? I was front row, right? Pat McAfee just came by and gave me a fucking fist bump. You know, I'm in my position, and I know I got about 2 minutes before I got to fuck off because they're going to start throwing people the fuck out of where I'm at. And I see Stephanie McMahon across from me. God, I wanted to go around and just talk to her, like really bad, and just to see if she would remember that moment, which I'm pretty sure when somebody hits you in the face with a camera, kind of hard to forget it.
You have lived a charming life. I'll say that. I'm
one of a kind. As far as wrestling goes in New York City, I've been spoiled.
There's no sarcasm here. Like, why? I'm just going to say this real quick. Well, you know, with tax credits, no, fuck anything. Work on teleportation. That way I can just teleport up there and be with you like at every show and just be like, teleportation. That's what we need.
Yeah,
screw all these other things.
I wish I had teleportation too, because it's hard to keep up with all these shows. Because now they're going all over the world. They're going to France. They're going here. They're going there. I'm not a fucking millionaire yet. I can't go to all these goddamn shows.
I really hope it with all my heart. Look, I'm not one for the rivalry, like let's take shots at each other all the time. But one that I do hope, I would love to see WWE have a show at Wimbledon or Wembley Stadium.
Wembley Stadium could happen one day,
just so that they could then be like, yeah, y'all.
I don't know. I'm lucky at this point in my life, Dave, that I've gotten to the point in my life where, you know, I'm an adult now. I got my adult money, so I can make adult decisions that I pay for later. I'm going to have WrestleMania every fucking year for the rest of my life, no matter what.
You're paying one way or the other. You're either paying money or with decisions. So.
That's the only show that I can say for certain, high or high water, I'm going to Mania every year the rest of my life. I've set myself up to do that. I can't. We're getting close. We're eventually, maybe one day, I'll be lucky enough to go to all 4 big pay-per-views, but I'm never going to be that green shirt guy. I promise you that.
Did you ever get your tickets?
That green shirt guy. You know green shirt guy, Travis?
Yeah, the one that would go like to every freaking pay-per-view, even if it was like 10,000 miles away.
I don't know how. But...
Did you ever get your tickets from Bully Ray?
No. Bully Ray?
You kept saying Bully Ray was going to get
you tickets because you brought him a weapon or something like that?
Well, yeah, the agreement was if I bring him a stop sign and or a barbed wire baseball bat, he would give me 2 tickets to any show of my choosing. And you know the story. Obviously, I bring him the bat. I bring him. Actually, I think I might have the video. Let me see. I might have the video. This is the old intro. It might be in here. I don't know.
You are listening to Wrestling with Savage, the best podcast in the history of podcasts.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Project, you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. Why?
Because they are the best tag team in the world today! Woo!
George, I think George just tried his resume for Tony Khan. I don't know for George. Huh?
We're savage!
But of course.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, Project, you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins
I'm trying to give these 2 W's.
Yeah, but I thought it was in that one. I guess it's not. Well, anyway, I got a video of Bully Ray just saying, "Good job, Savage." But yeah, no tickets, Travis. No tickets.
What a cheapskate. He could afford to send you Mania tickets. He could.
Well, he kind of got mad at me because I kind of challenged him to a match on Sirius XM radio, on national radio. So
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I
Hey,
said
you know
anytime
what?
match around, bro. Brady's ladder match. I don't give a fuck.
You know what? I'm
I
all
cried
for it.
laughing. man.
I'd pay money to see Savage get power bombed through a table.
Now, the best part of all this, Dave, all right, I'm sitting at one of my conventions one day. Kevin Nash comes up to me. What the fuck did you do to Bully Ray? He wants to know what I did to Bully Ray. Rob Van Dam calls me one day. Yo, what did you do to Bully Ray? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, what did I do to Bully Ray? I didn't fucking do anything to Bully Ray. What did Bully Ray do to me? That son of a bitch owes me tickets. But the shit was crazy because we actually got heat at a show once. I just went up to like shake his hand just to say what's up. This was after he owed me the tickets. I didn't even bring up the tickets. I went to shake his hand, and he just starts yelling at me. Get the fuck out of here. You got a big fucking mouth. Get the fuck out of here. Put that fucking hand down. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just smiling. I'm laughing. And everybody, Kevin Nash, Rhino, Scott Steiner, a couple other legends. They're all just like, what the fuck is going on over here? They get Bully Ray's going up shit on this guy with a suit. Who the fuck is this guy? And everyone's like, oh, that's Savage. That's Savage. That's when my name started getting out there a little more. Not in a good way either. Bully Ray made sure of that. That son
No
of a
such
bitch.
thing as bad publicity, my friend.
I don't care. I have a different way about. I mean, I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm trying to do. If I do it, great. If I don't, okay. Either way, I tried. Worst case scenario, 10 years from now, if I have a podcast that can help me pay the bills, I'm okay with all of that.
You shoot your shot. Worst case scenario.
If 10 years from now comes and I'm getting paychecks from Stamford, Connecticut, I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that. I'll say this. I'm busting my ass. I probably will be in the NWA this year.
Nice.
I'll say this, and this is the first time I've said it on the show live. I have an audition for TNA. I have to put together a 3-minute pitch tool, which is like a video package, kind of like you see video packages on Gunther or other stars. I need to put together my own ultimate 3-minute video package showing who I am, what I've done, blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, my pitch tool video, whatever they call it, will be good because it features guys like Jacob Fatu, features guys like Casey Navarro, features guys like, I don't know, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I have good content. I have videos with Swerve Strickland. I have videos with almost every WWE legend you can think of, from DDP to Rob Van Dam to Kevin Nash. I've had matches when I was a kid. I've had manager roles now as an adult. I'm trying my ass off. I don't know if it's going to happen, but all I know is if I don't try, it definitely won't, which is why I wanted to stay away from this podcast shit. If anything, it's this asshole's fault over here. He started doing the podcast with me, and I knew what would happen if I kept doing the podcast. I'd be like, fuck, now I want to go to shows. And then that would be like, I want to go to more shows. And then, well, look what happened, David. I started going to more shows, and I decided to turn into a lunatic again. And it wasn't enough that I was just a fan. I'm savage. I'm a fan. I'm rapid, crazy. I call busted open. I talk shit. Yeah. All that transformed into, you want to come do commentary for Battlefield? Okay. And then that was the end of that. Once I did that first one, the guy said, next show, come dressed up. And once he told me that, I never looked back. Since then, I had one suit in my closet when he asked me to. You know how many suits I have downstairs on the suit rack right now, Dave?
50.
About 22.
Nice.
I'm ready to go. I got 47 ties, 22 suits, clips, glasses, shades, accessories for fucking days, multiple cameras. I got cameramen.
Right here. Right
Where's
here.
Dave? Jay, you know Jay ditched me. He's pulling a U now. Dave tapped out like 2 years ago.
What do you mean? I saw the other day he was on. What's going on?
He's
For a
done.
minute, I thought that was Jay at first.
Uncle How. I think he was kidnapped by Uncle Howdy. I don't know. Either he's going through some shit or he's sick of wrestling, which I can see that. I don't have a problem. I get that.
I mean, he complained every time he was on.
Get burnt out.
Last year, when I was doing this show and we were like at that stretch of like bad bloodline shit, like it wasn't good, I was like, oh, how am I going to keep doing this? It was bad. If the shows are bad, it makes these shows, especially when you're by yourself, it's unbearable. Like tonight, this is no problem. I could do this show like this every Monday night because if Dave's here or you're here. I don't know if Dave would make that commitment. You should show up at least once a month, Dave. Come talk a little shit.
I'll see if I come out a little more.
We don't go late anymore. I know the problem was before we went late, and this guy was like on the stream. He'd be like, I would be like this.
What the hell?
I'd be talking, Monday, the match is great. No, Dave, what'd you think about that? And then this would be Dave. Dave, what'd you think about that match? Hey, wake up! Yeah, so I get it. But,
now that's just me. Now you only have that just whenever CM Punk starts talking, and I just...
the whole thing's been crazy to me, the whole ride. I'm trying to put together this video package now, and it's kind of overwhelming because I'm like, shit, that's 3 years of content almost now. I got to really take my time and pick the right.
It's amazing.
At least you got something, though. At least now.
It's amazing. I had someone today tell me, well, hard work doesn't matter anymore. It's all about who you know and, all this stuff.
That's not wrong. They're not wrong.
Not, but the thing is, you put in the hard work to get to know these people. Yeah. So hard work does still pay off. Because
I don't need to sugarcoat it. I've told this to Marty Jannetty's face, when I first started working with him. Of course I'm working with you because I want to gain recognition. I want to gain reputation. I'm working with a legend. I want to produce your podcast, and I want to milk that shit. I want to make money with you. I want you to make money. And obviously, I want to gain notoriety for being able to produce a podcast. And hell, along the way, if I can get a reputation, make friends, which I have, I'm working close with, I'll put it to you like this. The number one guy in NXT right now is Shawn Michaels. All right? I'm literally working with the only person in the world that was tag team partners with Shawn Michaels for 7 years. I'm working with the only person in the world who went through a barbershop window, and then we saw what happened with Shawn Michaels' career. We don't have to talk about it. We know what happened to Mr. WrestleMania. And Marty right now is trying to change his life and get to a place where, people will not only want to work with him again, but like they want to pay him a lot of money to do it because he's in the right frame of mind, sober.
I hope he gets to the right frame of mind enough where he can go where he belongs, which is in the freaking Hall of Fame.
I'm trying my ass off to make that happen. And one day, hopefully, if we work hard enough, we'll get that position. My point is this. I'm in a situation right now where any day now, I could be in a room with Shawn Michaels because of my association with Marty Jannetty. Marty gets the invite to come down to NXT. Shawn wants to hang out. Shawn wants to see him. Maybe we go out to dinner, maybe whatever the fuck. To me, that is something that you can't pay for. You can't buy that kind of shit. I've earned that fucking right.
I don't think Shawn parties anymore, does he?
They are friends, Dave. No, Shawn doesn't. Shawn's a very religious, married man, very dedicated to his work. Shawn, I don't know if you knew this, Dave. Shawn, in 2006, called Marty Jannetty and said, listen, we want you to come back to Raw. We want you to do this. We want you to do that. But we want you to come back the right way. Why don't you meet me in Arizona? He met him in Arizona. Shawn Michaels then baptized Marty Jannetty. He baptized him in the church. Sting was there. All the wrestlers were there. He baptized Marty Jannetty, right? Fresh start. Wrestles his matches on WWE. Impresses everybody. That's a banger of a match with Kurt Angle on SmackDown. Impresses everybody. Right? It's weekend now. Always a problem for Marty Jannetty. It's the weekend. It's Saturday. It's Sunday. On Monday morning, he's going to sign a contract for $1 million, Dave. For WWE. $1 million. He's back. He's back. They want him full time. He just did the remember that Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club? And Marty didn't kiss his ass? This was all around that time. One Monday, he's going to sign a contract for $1 million fucking dollars. He's in a sports car with a girlfriend at the time. She's pissed off because they just came from a show and some girl was shaking her titties in front of Marty. She asked him to sign her titties. He signs them. He obviously thinks there's nothing wrong with this. The girl, on the other hand, thought there was a lot wrong with it.
Of course.
So they're fighting and they're arguing in the car. He punches him. He crashes. Wrecks the fucking car. Cops come, find like a huge pile of cocaine.
Oh, shit.
Arrested.
There goes that contract.
Contract on. $1 million mistake.
Wow.
Poor Marty.
So to answer your question, is Sean and Marty friends? There's no way you do that for somebody unless you're their friend. You're not going to fly him out to Arizona, baptize him, bring him back. By the way, at this point, Marty had already been fired and rehired probably 15 times from like 1988 or whatever. Wow. You don't do that kind of shit for someone that's not your friend. So yes, they are friends. They're not best friends. They're not close friends. They don't talk every day. But I guarantee you, you get them in a room. Sean and Marty, they're hugging, they're embracing, and they're probably going to talk for hours.
It took me several years to learn this fact, but there are friends that we're going to have in our lives that, you talk to them every day. And then there are going to be friends you talk to once a year. Doesn't mean they're any less your friend. You just don't get to talk to them as much. But
hold on, I'm gonna blow this kid's fucking mind. Parker, are you still there? I hope you're there. Stick around.
I love the intensity Savage has. It's good. You just don't see that kind of passion anymore. I'm watching.
I don't know.
Who was it?
Will answer his question. Do I like Bruiser Brody, WWE guy? Does that answer your question? If I like Bruiser motherfucking Brody, why would I have a shirt of him? Why would a WWE guy have a shirt of Bruiser Brody unless they're not a WWE guy? They're a wrestling fan.
Not only that, that was in Japan. King Kong Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody is one of my all-time favorites. I didn't know about him when I was a kid, but later on,
I was just telling David, I love the passion you have because I've seen some other wrestling channels. I'm not going to get into who because I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I've seen some other ones. They're like, and then he does a flip off the top rope and he's attacking him. And I'm like, what is going on? If you're a freaking wrestling podcaster, you need to get excited about this stuff. I don't care if it's, and I'm not throwing any shade against it. I don't care if it's a freaking battleground show you're covering, or Battlefield, sorry.
There's Battleground
Have
too.
the freaking passion, or don't bother having the podcast.
It should be in anything you do in life. You should always try to have passion in what you do. I've always been passionate about wrestling, and I had to put wrestling on the back burner for many years. The reason why my passion I have like this is probably because I had to put wrestling on the back burner. I wanted to be a professional wrestler. If you asked me when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, my answer was, I'm sure Dave probably heard me babble for 10 years. Oh, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. I never went back. But how many times did we talk about it? Fuck, I got to go back. I'm wasting my talent. I'm wasting my goddamn time. 100%. I've come here in the way that I can now. There's no way I want to wrestle. There's no way. No way. I would never want to wrestle again.
Especially not since, and I don't mean this to sound rude to you in any way, but have you seen the shit these kids are doing now?
Oh, no.
I was on the independent.
You can shit on me all you want. I ain't doing any of that shit.
I
ain't doing no
circuit.
Fucking suicida, tope, dupe, dape off the top rope. Fuck out of here with all that shit.
2 years I was on the independent circuit.
It's on a different level now. Listen, when I was training and I was a kid, I would say this. I got to the point where I was probably, and I don't want to sound like I'm really confident or cocky or anything, but I've watched Kevin Owens wrestle a lot. And I would say after 4 years of training, probably the closest thing you'd see to what I look like in the ring was like a Kevin Owens. A guy who was big, but fast, could do all the power moves, could punch like a monster, could go off the top rope, splash, leg drop, elbow drop. That's about it. You ain't going to see me do no flippity-dippity. Kevin probably a little more bouncier than me with some of the flips. I'm not doing no senton.
I hate to admit this.
Holy fucking shit, it's Rhea fucking Ripley. She's fucking back tonight. Wow. Wow. I did not see that coming. Holy shit. And Liv Morgan has seen a fucking ghost. She is gone. Now, Liv Morgan is gone. Shit. She's abandoned daddy and mommy. It's here.
This is not in well right good for Dom.
Mommy is right up in Dom's face. Wow. She's trying to give mommy a hug and they just cut it. Wow, what great television. That was great.
She ran for her life.
She got the fuck out of there. She sold that perfectly. That was a great ending to Raw.
It's always fun to mess with another woman's man until that other woman comes back.
Dude, you know everybody right now is pissed off that they just cut this shit off because everyone wants to know, what's going to happen there.
Of course, wow. That's why they go, you want to find out? Yeah, come back next
So do we see Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam? Bad Blood, maybe?
Bad Blood, I think, would be great just for the name alone.
And does Ripley just get back her title immediately?
I don't know. I think I still stand with my thought process of Dom should cost her the title, like intentionally. The two of them go off, do their own thing, and she goes, okay, fine. You want to do that? I'll bring my real life husband in. Because I just looked. I can tell you this, because I just looked. His contract expires in 4 months.
Real quick, I just want to go over some upcoming events. July 26th, I will be at the House of Glory Arena for high intensity, where I'll get my chance to meet Zilla Fatu for the first time. My good friend, Prince Nana, Swerve Strickland, will be in the house, so expect some exclusive content there. Also, Saturday, July 27th, my client, Spencer Slade, will be in action in Connecticut. If you're in the area, come on down. And then the very next day, it's a busy weekend at the end of the month. Oh, Broadheadsville, how we've missed you. Next man up, Battlefield Pro Wrestling event. If you're in the area, come on down or watch live on your YouTube channel. You have been watching Monday Night Raw live here on Wrestling with Savage. Tomorrow, we'll bring you the WWE weekly update while we watch NXT. Wednesday night, we're going to be watching All Elite Wrestling, giving you the weekly update there. And then Thursday night, the Savage Storm Wrestling Super Show, where we cover all things professional wrestling in one show. Go to wrestlingwithsavage.com. Check out my website. I want to thank all these gentlemen for being here with me tonight. David Carballo hasn't been here in a long time. One of my closest friends in real life. Travis, you haven't been here for a while either. So thank you for coming. Hope to see you guys both here more often on Wrestling with Savage. Last thing, go over to the wrestlinguniverse.com and you can see all their upcoming signings that they have available for all the fans. July 20th, Booker T. Vince Russo's going to be there. Don Marie's going to be there. And then the next day, Brie and Nikki Garcia. Holy shit, man. A lot of talent at the look. Fuck, I'm gonna fucking meet Joe Hendry. God damn it! Not only am I gonna meet Joe Hendry, I'm gonna talk to Joe Hendry. I'm gonna get autographs with Joe Hendry.
We believe.
You know what? I might even fuck with Joe Hendry just a little bit. Just a little bit. I heard he likes jokes. So,
but you know what, Savage?
Yeah.
Fuck with Joe Hendry. Just remember, if you do, he will say, "Play the footage."
I will play the footage. And then also September 28th, my personal signing. Come and meet Diamond Dallas Page. September 28th. I should have a video from him next week to hype all you guys up. But like I said, a lot of talent at the Wrestling Universe. Go to the wrestlinguniverse.com. Check out all the upcoming signings. Pick up tickets to the event. Also can't wait for Jinder Mahal. End of the year. Shelton Benjamin, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Always good shit happening at the Wrestling Universe. Always good shit happening on Wrestling with Savage. We'll see you all tomorrow night for NXT. Everybody, good night. Be safe.
Yeah. Let me hear it.
Pedigree, 1, 2, 3, proud to you live as a champ. A last ride straight to hell, a tombstone, a choke slam. Here to give it to you raw. This is Wrestling with Savage. SmackDown, hold the title. This is Wrestling with Savage. What?
Wrestling with Savage begins now.